Okay, I think I might understand that you did this to start a movement, to become a symbol?
Come on, Murray. Do I look like the kind of clown that could start a movement? I killed those guys because they were awful. Everybody is awful these days. It's enough to make anyone crazy.
Okay, so that's it. You're crazy. That's your defense for killing 3 young men?
No. They couldn't carry a tune to save their lives.
Hello and welcome to Comic Book Movie Oblivion, the podcast about feature films based on comic books and comic strips that people have stopped talking about or won't stop talking about? Where does this one sit? Good. We are your hosts, Jordan and Kumar. That's me.
And me.
And this week we are talking about Joker from 2019.
Oh yes. This one's the opposite of Oblivion.
Maybe...
Omnipresent. Well, I don't know. Has it vanished with the performance of this second movie?
I'll tell you what. Yeah, I as we started working on this week, I mean, I hadn't seen this movie before.
Me neither.
And
we're just about the only 2 people in the world that haven't, right?
And did not know that it had gotten like 9 Oscar nominations, including
11,
Best Picture, Best Actor, and that he won. I didn't know that. And because that was Parasite year. It was all about Bong Joon-ho and Parasite.
Yes.
That's all I was thinking about. I was like, Joker, what? I didn't even click with me that this guy won, which just means like him and Heath Ledger. So I guess like Nicholson got... and Cesar Romero both got...
And Jared Leto.
Yes. Got absolutely ripped off.
Screwed.
Yes. Didn't really know about any of that stuff. I was only kind of aware... I saw some articles in the aftermath about, like, what is this movie really? Why is it getting all this praise? That kind of stuff. We'll get to all that.
Yeah, we'll try and uncover it.
Yes. And I did not mention what we would be reading this week last week. I hope people out there are following along and watching the movies and reading the comics.
They're all quitting en masse because you forgot to mention the comic.
And I forgot to mention the comic, but if you're behind schedule, you can just listen to this bit and you'll learn that we have read The Killing Joke this week, which we have talked almost every Batman episode. We were like, are we going to do The Killing Joke this time? Are we going to do The Killing Joke this time? Yeah. And apparently I had put it on the list for 89.
It was on the list for 89, yeah. But we didn't discuss it. Well, we discussed it very briefly.
I think I found some other more relevant Joker comics at the time, I think.
Yeah.
This one I think is very relevant to this movie.
Yes. I mean, it's a fact that the writer and director, Todd Phillips, referred to Killing Joke.
Right.
I think he cited it as the main influence.
Okay.
And The Dark Knight Returns being a slightly lesser influence.
Right.
That's Frank Miller's one,
Yeah. Well, Brian Bolland is thanked in the end credits of this, in the special thanks section.
That makes sense. And I'm going to ring the bell now, and then I'm going to put it away.
Oh, yes. Let's ring the bell.
Because The Killing Joke is, of course, by bearded wizard Alan Moore.
Yes. And it's one of his least favorite things that he's written.
Yeah. I saw that this week. Interesting, because I quite like it.
I like it too. I would agree that, one of my friends online was saying just a month ago or so, because this came up in conversation, that Batman is overrated, but not The Killing Joke.
Right.
And somebody else said that it was like... it goes further than most Batman stories in pointing out that by design it must be a perpetual misery machine. It's pretty controversial. I mean, the content is controversial. We'll talk about that as well. I do think... I know why Alan Moore doesn't like it. I can read some quotes. And in fact, I'll chop in a interview clip like I did for V for Vendetta, because it was the same Stuart Lee interview from 2003 or so.
Great.
And Stuart Lee says, your Batman piece, The Killing Joke, he brings it up. And Alan Moore says, that's the thing that's probably the work of mine that I'm least fond of.
I mean, all that kind of led into your Batman piece, The Killing Joke, where you had Batman and the Joker as kind of slightly psychopathic figures.
That's the thing that that's probably the work of mine that I'm least fond of, because there's a lot of nasty things happen in that, and I mean, the profundity in The Killing Joke is that actually Batman and the Joker are pretty similar. but like they're not real. It does you as an audience no good to have it pointed out that Batman and the Joker are a bit similar, because they're both preposterous characters.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's one that Brian Bolland did a wonderful job on the artwork, but as for my writing, no, that's not one of my finest hours.
So in some way, do you look back at the next 10 years of superhero comics whereby people tried to impose these psychological motivations and extreme violence on characters that were basically invented in the 30s to entertain children,
Yes.
with some
And
feeling
we're
of
never meant to
responsibility
carry that
and
weight,
yeah, it's,
you know?
it's your fault. Is that what you?
Oh, certainly, yeah. It's almost. I mean, like, to be fair to The Killing Joke, I thought it was one of the worst things that I've ever written. But on looking at some of the Batman graphic novels that came after it, I realised that it is in fact a masterpiece.
The other thing I point about, another thing I think Alan Moore doesn't like about it, which I read in a different interview that was earlier, is that Alan Moore's a formalist, and he repeats a lot of the tricks that he used in Watchmen in this.
Yeah.
His 9-panel grid.
Yes.
It's only 45 pages, but he uses match cuts on almost every page, where
Yes.
somebody's in a certain pose, and he cut to another scene, and they're in the same. It's a different character in the same pose in a different situation.
So you think maybe he feels it's a bit derivative?
Yes, of his own work. Like he had exhausted that already. That move in Watchmen.
I did notice that actually. They'll be saying, yes.
And if it's not visual, it'll be some conversational
Dialogue,
thing.
Like, how can someone hate
Exactly.
me so much? And then on the next page, it's Commissioner Gordon. I hate him.
Yes, exactly. It's stuff like that. So I think felt like he'd gone back to. At this point, his relationship with DC was souring. So that might have affected the script as well. By the way, Brian Bolland was a little bit of two sides about this, because he said in 2020 he wrote my final word on The Killing Joke online on his Facebook or whatever. He says, let me see if I can find this bit here. Finally, in London, the finished script arrived. I was somewhat disappointed. As an artist, you want to draw iconic moments, pay homage in some way to the characters of old. Where was Dick Sprang's giant typewriter? I was worried by the 3 bug-eyed dwarves. I thought it perhaps offensive to persons of limited height. I thought setting part of the story in a funfair was a bit obvious, and I was upset by the harm that came to Barbara and concerned by the implied nudity. As the artist, I've never considered it my place to tell a writer what to write, especially a writer and friend who I admired as much as Alan. As an artist, if a scene has to be violent, I will make it so. Also, I would never have chosen to suggest an origin story of the Joker. There were moments in the story, though, that I thought might be iconic, and sections that were well up to Alan's best. But in this same post, he is upset that Alan Moore has kind of disowned it.
Right.
And that
There's to have it both ways.
Yeah, there's a guard that he said
I was concerned about people of limited stature in the coked out 1980s.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure, man.
But he says he reads this Guardian article where Alan Moore is complaining about superheroes, and particularly his take on his writing in The Killing Joke, and he says in this article there's no mention of Brian Bolland, the artist. So maybe, that's part of his complaint, is that these people aren't talking about comics. They don't really know what they're talking about. Yes, okay. So let's go through The Killing Joke.
Let's go through it.
By the way, I don't know if it's meant here, there's 2 versions.
Yeah, I've read them both.
I read them both too. There was the original version from 1988, which is colored by John Higgins. John Higgins also did the coloring on Watchmen, to some controversy for being a very garishly colored superhero comic. 25 years later, John Higgins came back and recolored Watchmen in a way I think that he was more happy with. At the time of Killing Joke, Brian Bolland he didn't have the time or the know-how to do the coloring the way they were doing at the time. So when they did the 20th anniversary edition, he came back and colored it, and it's radically different.
Yeah.
Experience of reading these
Hugely different.
The John Higgins is very garish primary and secondary colors.
Lurid, very lurid.
This is perfect.
Dreamlike.
Dreamlike. The Brian Bolland version is very subdued. And also, he's changed some of the art. Like in the original version, Batman has the yellow symbol around his chest from the 60s and 70s.
Well, that's daggy now, so we're going to get rid of that.
And he's gotten rid of that, which I'll talk a little bit more about that in a bit. But the best description I've read of these two versions, I don't know who said this, but it's genius, is that the Higgins version is from the perspective of the Joker, and the Bolland version is from the perspective of Batman. And it works if you read it like that.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that makes me I'm a little happier with it now.
Yeah. What I don't like about him removing the yellow symbol is that all through this 45 pages, you see images from Batman's history drawn in the style of those times. You see the first... Yes. You see that kind of Dick Sprang, Bill Finger type of artwork. Like, there's a family portrait of the Batman family standing next to the rest of them, and it's done in this kind of Dick Sprang style, a 60s or 50s comic style, and I like that that yellow symbol there is from a certain era. Yeah. And when he shows up in the Batmobile, it's like the 1930s Batmobile. It's this really weird design with a big bat on the front, bat face on the front of it and stuff.
Yeah, and the confrontation in the chemical plant as well. He's in a much older costume.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, it looks like the 30s one with the really pointy, curved ears. Yeah. So I like that it's all over the place, and you get all these bits from their entire history in it. Somehow taking away the yellow shield...
Well, because it's Daggy and we can't have that no more.
Yeah, but...
I'm forced to conclude that's what it is.
Yeah, I don't know why he didn't, like... Maybe he just... when he muted the colors, he realized that the yellow was too strong, and...
I don't know.
You'd
have to ask him. I find it distressingly modern.
Yeah.
Considering it's a story from 1988, I found Bolland's recoloring to be very... what do I mean by modern? Kind of like those Rocketeer recolorings that we read all those months and months ago, where it's very glossy.
Yes.
And it looks like every other comic.
Yes. And I would say, actually, this is a book that we want to place in 1988.
Yeah.
The harm that is done to Barbara Gordon and the sexual assault... Let's remind people that this is 88, and let's leave the 88 coloring in there instead of trying to pretend that this came out in 2008.
When it would be a bit more controversial.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right. It's a mistake to modernize it like that. I will also say one of those things that I'm always annoying about. One of the things I like about the original edition is you open it up and you get this full page of raindrops. It looks like radar signals. It's a very strange image. Then you turn the page and you see it's actually one of 9 panels of rain outside Arkham Asylum. And then at the end of the book, you see the rain again in the last panel. Then you turn the page and you get the big splash of rain. We don't have that in any edition since. Because we get this deluxe edition which has like a little bit of rain and the flap, and then we get an introduction by Tim Sale, for example, and you get a lot of stuff, and you don't even get the full page of rain. You just jump straight into the
9-panel grid.
the 9-panel grid, and then at the end of the book, you don't get the full page.
Well, there's all this new art in there.
Exactly, there's all this, and there's even a deluxe edition out there, like an omnibus that has both colored versions and the script in there. Great, love to have the script, but. It's not bookended by the rain. I think that edition is kind of perfect in that form.
Yeah, I'm forced to agree. Original is best.
Yeah. Okay, so it's raining outside Arkham Asylum. Batman suddenly shows up for no really particular reason.
Doesn't seem like it.
He suddenly had just a change of heart tonight. He's reached a breaking point for no.
There's no dialogue for about
reason.
3 pages, which I love.
Yeah.
We're watching a series of people, places, people in motion.
Yep. Very cool panel of Harvey Dent, where they pass his cell and the bar is bisecting his face exactly in the middle.
It's cool.
Great little image.
Cool. Then the Joker is playing solitaire in a shadowed alcove. Batman approaches him, basically says that he wants to have a chat.
Yeah.
He's decided that their rivalry is
going to end up with
fatal.
Yes, it's going to end up with both of them dead, or at least one of them is going to kill the other.
Yeah. So Batman here explicitly says that he imagines he will end up killing the Joker.
Yeah.
Or that the Joker will end up killing him.
And he says, "I just wanted to."
Batman doesn't kill. He doesn't kill even in the 80s, right?
No, but I think
An
we're
interesting line.
suggesting that he's reaching a breaking point here.
Yes.
And he says, I just wanted to know that I'd made a genuine attempt to talk things over and avert that outcome just once. He's really trying to talk it out. Which,
Yes.
as I said on some previous episode, I like it when they try to straighten out the bad guys, or the bad guys try to go good. I can't remember what episode. But anyway, I do like...
yeah. It was the Lex Luthor going good.
Yes.
That was when we talked about it in one of
Right.
our Superman episodes.
Yeah.
I think we've done more Batman Batman adjacent episodes than we've done Superman, right?
Yeah, and I have
It'll be a
not...
dead heat.
No, it's definitely more, because we just did Batman Returns a couple months ago.
and we've got things like People's Joker and Mask of the Phantasm.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We have had 2 Indian Supermans, which we have not had for Batman. But then Batman realizes that this Joker he's talking to is not the Joker. It's a guy in white makeup.
Yeah.
And this guy has allowed the Joker, or abetted in his escape,
Yes.
for whatever reason.
Well, he's impersonating him, so they won't know that he's escaped. So he's involved in some way, shape, or
That's
form.
right. So, cut to a fun park. I guess Alan Moore introduced the idea of Joker's
Lair being
a fun park?
Has it been... Well, I trust your answer. Is
don't
this
know.
the first time... It seems like an obvious idea for him.
Yeah, but he's buying it. He's here buying it, and it's not mentioned that, like, I always hang out in fun parks. It's not like there's 30 in Gotham City. It seems like the first time. But anyway,
Cool.
he's there looking at this place. He's going to buy it from this guy. He's being shown around. And while he's
He's a
there...
prospective buyer.
That's right.
Although, of course, he has no intention of buying it.
Yes. Now we have a flashback to something we've never seen. A bit of the Joker's origin. And he is a stand-up comic with a horse face, a bit of a long face,
Yes. And a pregnant wife.
and a pregnant wife. And he has face actually looks like, who's that country singer that was dating Julia Roberts? What's his name?
I don't know.
Please email me. Somebody email me. Anyway.
It's really odd because he's not a successful stand-up comic.
No.
This is the Joker, right?
Yes.
He's bombed.
Yeah.
We find out later he's quit his job
Yeah.
in a chemical
Yeah.
lab
Yeah,
or something because the Joker's always been associated with chemistry. To try and make it as a stand-up comic,
Yeah.
and he's got a pregnant wife.
Yeah.
And he's under tremendous strain.
Yeah.
Because he needs to make it.
Yeah.
So that they can get out of this filthy house they're living in with a mean landlady.
Yep.
And so that he can move to a nice neighborhood and look after his wife, who loves him. And this is all just so strange.
Yeah,
Because the Joker married, worried about the school zone where his kid's going to grow up
Yeah.
in.
He's a
Strange.
sane man who's a comedian at this point.
Yes.
He talks about how he screwed up his set, and
Yep.
he says, I got nervous and messed up the punchline, and she says, oh. And
then
he says, what do you mean, oh?
kind of
She says, I
explodes,
didn't mean
doesn't
anything. By the way, I want to mention that as much as Alan Moore says this has nothing to do with real people, when his wife was pregnant, he quit his job to become a cartoonist. He was like, if I wait until after the baby's born, I'll never have the courage to quit.
Wow.
Because I'll be looking into this little baby's doe eyes, and I'll need to bring in the money. So I need to quit now and try to make it. So he pulled a Joker.
Wow, that's very personal.
It seems like it, yeah.
Yeah. Well, it can't be a coincidence.
Yeah. No.
Amazing. I never knew that.
But he's like, he's like, he feels guilty about how he's not bringing in money,
Yep.
and he feels awful, and he says he's a loser, and she's like, don't be like that, and he says, I just need to, get a job, get the money, and then we'll be taken care of.
He is funny. He says, how hard can it be? There's girls that make more in a weekend and they don't even have to tell any jokes.
That's right. There are girls on the street who earn that in a weekend without having to tell a single joke. Great line. She laughs. The wife laughs.
And then she says to him, amazing line that's being said to the guy that's going to be the Joker. She says, I love you. You're good in the sack.
Yeah, you're good in the sack.
And you make me laugh.
Yes.
So the Joker fucks.
Well, he might fuck twice in this book.
Oh, yeah.
Well, he's got his wife pregnant. This is actually, it's good you pointed this out because I've never made this connection in the 30 times I've read this. That she actually talks about his prowess in bed and that he makes her laugh, considering what happens later in the book. Okay, so flashback to the present. The Joker basically, Joker toxins this real estate guy.
Kills him. He's left grimacing with the Joker grimace.
Yeah.
Sitting on like a like a hobby horse or
Yeah,
something.
yeah, it's like a rocking horse.
Like a rocking
kids
horse.
ride at the fun fair. Back in the Batcave, Bruce is like, how am I going to find this guy? I don't know anything about him. Even
Yeah.
after all these years, I don't understand him. I don't know how his mind works. How can we hate each other so much when we don't know anything about each other?
It's good because we're seeing his background. Although perhaps the Joker is an unreliable narrator,
Yes.
so we might not be. Seeing his
So
true-
it's revealed at the end that he remembers his past differently all the time. This was picked up by the Heath Ledger Joker, by the way, where he says he tells his backstory
Yeah.
differently every time,
Yeah.
and then he says, I remember it differently.
Yeah.
That's straight out of this version, where we don't know that what we're seeing is actually flashbacks. It could be just his idea of what happened in the past. Because he actually says he doesn't remember what happened to him.
He says if you have to have a past, might as well make it multiple choice. I think
That's
he
right.
says.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, but so while Bruce is musing that he knows nothing about the Joker, and we see he's fired up the Bat computer, and it's got images of the Joker again, images from different
Yeah.
eras of the Joker in comics.
Yeah.
So there's him drawn in that kind of like heavily inked way
Yes.
from the early days. There's some more 60s era ones where he's more foppish and clown-like. While he and it says things like name unknown, age unknown, origin unknown. Meanwhile, we're seeing
Yes.
a version of his origin at the
Yeah.
same time, which I think is a nice touch.
Yeah. Okay. Meanwhile, Commissioner Gordon, I guess retired at this stage, is at home with his daughter
Barbara,
Yep.
who is Batgirl at this point, I think.
Yes, she is Batgirl at this point.
Yep. Not for long.
No, not for long. So she's expecting somebody to come over, and his clippings. He's making these scrapbooks of all these clippings of Batman and Joker.
Yep.
And there's a knock at the door. She answers.
She thinks it's Colleen, her yoga partner,
That's
but
right. It's the Joker.
in a very frightening panel.
Yeah.
He's dressed like a tourist. He's wearing a Hawaiian shirt
Yeah.
and shorts and a kind of like a straw hat.
Yeah.
Like a boater.
Yeah.
And his eyes are just pinpricks under the brim.
Yeah.
And he's holding a gun.
It's interesting because she talks about how Jim Gordon would tell her these stories as a little girl about the Joker, and she says, well, I remember you describing the white face and the green hair to me when I was a kid, scared the hell out of me. And he says, I thought you'd be interested. And she says, yeah, well, I had some interesting nightmares. She opens a door, and it's the Joker there with the gun pointer. Now, scary panel, as you said. Less scary in the Bolland color version.
Yeah.
But Bolland has made sure to emphasize the white skin, which she was talking about. Now, I'm not sure which of these is the right choice artistically.
Right.
She's talking about the white skin,
Yeah.
and Bolland gives him white skin. Higgins has just covered him the same
yellow,
gray as
isn't
the
he?
shadow, as the hallway, the darkened hallway.
It's grey, is it? Okay.
Yeah,
It's a mono. It's a single color.
It's a single color. What's the right choice here? Very difficult to say.
yeah.
He shoots her
calm down.
in the stomach through the spine. She collapses on the coffee table. At this point, and in terms of comics continuity, Barbara Gordon can't walk. I don't think they've done any version where she can walk again. She's in a wheelchair. She becomes this character called Oracle. She's like this super hacker.
Yeah.
Becomes a pretty important character, I would say more important than Batgirl was.
Yeah. 100%. Yeah. So the Joker has shot her.
Yep.
Mm.
They
He does all these quips,
Yep. About how she's...
which are clever because
Yeah.
Alan Moore's writing them.
Yes, they're very clever. About how she's a ruined volume, like the jacket, there's a hole in the jacket and the spine appears to be damaged.
It just keeps going. And it's horrifying, of course, because Barbara's lying in a pool of blood and Commissioner Gordon's freaking out. He tries to attack the Joker. The Joker is accompanied by thugs. I don't know how the Joker recruits these people.
He said... he did talk about how he needed to recruit people and fix up the place.
Yes.
Which
So
is
he's
done,
never-
by the way, timeline-wise, maybe 10 minutes later. I don't know how long it took him to hire these people and fix the place up with all these
Well, we
video
don't know how
screens
long
and
he's
stuff.
been on the outside for.
that's right, we
it's
don't
just
know.
chance that Batman showed up.
That's right.
And
But he doesn't fix until he takes over the place.
he doesn't start
the
fixing it up.
funfair
But he
starts
does a
fixing
lot of work on it.
Yeah. So maybe it's been weeks of him being loose after buying the fun fair.
We're gonna just that's a fine headcanon.
Yeah.
He drags Commissioner Gordon away.
Yep. Or
And
his
then-
goons grab him away. He
Oh, yeah.
gets out a camera and starts undressing Barbara.
We don't see him do it.
No.
First of all, we see
Well, he takes
pours
down one of her
himself a
buttons
drink.
at least.
I mean, he pours himself a drink, and the bottle has "Plaisant farceur" written on it.
Okay.
Which in French means "nice joker."
That's an absolute Alan Moore title, I'm guessing. I don't think Bolland put that in.
No way. And he tells her that she's not part of what's coming up, but she still has a role to play. He's going to take some photos to commemorate the event.
Yeah.
He then grasps her
blouse
and starts. We just see him tugging on it. Then it's the next page.
Well, we see more cleavage than she was showing in the
100%. Oh yeah.
Because she's undone at least one button.
It's implied that he's going to strip her.
Yeah.
It's sort of a bit. Yeah. It's not very explicit.
It's interesting because this is something that people call Alan Moore out on all the time in his work, is the sexual assaults. But much like in V, it's never... I mean, she had a cavity search, and it's implied that maybe this is considered a sexual assault, but it's... Quite often in his work, it's not super explicit. I mean, it is in Watchmen. But here it's not clear that he raped her. Maybe he just stripped her and photographed her.
I actually agree. I would state, for the record, it is 100% sexual assault to strip someone nude and take photos of them.
100%.
However, I don't think he raped her.
Yeah.
I don't think he's capable of it. Despite...
I agree.
I think even mentioning that he's good in the sack when he was a whole man is meant to juxtapose it with...
Right.
Well, he's presumably impotent in the present. I cannot imagine the Joker...
Okay, I want to open a tab.
Please.
I want to open a tab on the Halloween movies. Because there's one of them, I think the fourth or fifth one, where Michael Myers is like, this cult has like summoned him, and he has sex with this... I think it's even his niece to impregnate her or something in one version, and it's like, wait, he's capable of this? You know, but meanwhile, there's this important book about slasher movies by Carol Clover called Men, Women, and Chainsaws, and she points out in all these movies, they're impotent. The killers are impotent. The knife is a substitute.
Yeah.
I think it's a bit similar with the Joker. I mean, I don't think Alan Moore thought about this, but I think you can have a Freudian reading of this. There was a scene in Friday the 13th Part 2 where a girl was sexually assaulted by Jason. That was cut from the theatrical release. So it somehow just doesn't work. And I agree. I don't think he can. But do you think he does it with Harley Quinn? Or do you think that's some sort of...
God, that's a whole other matter.
I think he just watches.
I think there's no Harley... He's all about the mind games. Yeah. He appreciates things on a mental level. I mean, he's mentally violating people in this comic. That's what's happening.
Yeah.
It's the whole kind of point.
Yeah.
Of what the Killing Joke is.
Yeah.
I don't think he physically violated her. In fact, his sexual assault of her is incidental because it's about breaking Commissioner Gordon.
Yes. Okay, so now we get another flashback, and he's with these thugs who want to hire him for a heist job.
They're mafia. They're mafiosos.
Yeah, and they're like, well, we need to get into this chemical factory where you used to work, so you know the layout of this place, because we want to get into the card factory.
Even better, it's the card factory.
They want to get into the card factory to rob their safe.
So, do you remember The Man in the Red Hood? It was a card factory that Joker fell into.
This is the incident, yeah.
So, Moore's doing that thing that everyone knows Alan Moore does, is where he's found something...
Yeah.
He's found something way back in canon, and he's teasing it out into an alternative origin.
What I also like about this is that how much money is in this playing card factory? Not a lot. It's just a silly scheme to break into the chemical factory to get next door.
Yeah, we never find out why he has to go to the... It's literally there's an Easter egg to Man in the Red Hood.
It's so ridiculous that
maybe they keep the pay in...
the payroll.
The payroll.
You need a pilot if you're going to steal a payroll. Come on. You can't go in there with this red dome on your head.
But this man, the Joker, he wants...
We never get his name, by the way.
No. Which is, again, it's telling.
Yeah.
He is becoming involved in this because he wants a quick score.
That's right.
He wants a quick fix so that he can get out of he can do right by his wife and kid.
Yeah. Yeah.
These guys are disgusting. They're eating shellfish, and there's lots of sound effects.
For some reason, yeah, there's gross sound effects. There's a guy puking in this bar, by the way.
Yeah.
We get his sound effect as well. For some reason, Bolland colors all the food. He does the flashbacks in black and white, but he does all the food in color.
I don't understand
So this shrimp is red.
Bright red. It's distracting. I don't like this at all. It's okay that he did the flashbacks in sepia.
Yeah.
Although, mind you, the 1988 one does it in sepia too. It just does brown sepia. Whereas
Well, it's very garish as well. Like the '88 version, it's like it's
you can
not
tell
just-
you can tell it's different, but it's brown instead of grey.
Yeah.
But Bolland has made. He even mentions it in introduction. He says, "Oh, I when I did the flashbacks, I put one red thing in
Yeah.
deliberately."
Yeah.
See if you
Food more than once.
yeah,
Bizarre.
like octopus. Like he's eating like him and his wife are eating octopus.
Is that what that is?
Yeah,
I saw that weird. Those tentacles. We should ring the bell for the tentacles hanging over the.
Those Lovecraftian
hanging out of the pot. I was like, what are they eating? Like,
Yeah.
what is that?
Was it tentacles in '88? I wonder.
Well,
Is this
no,
one
I
of
don't
the
know
things
what
that
it
Bolland
is.
has changed?
It seemed like limp sausages hanging outside the pot.
In the introduction to the reissue, he says octopus.
Right.
Well, I thought they were poor. Is octopus some kind of poverty food?
Maybe. Yeah, maybe. Maybe. Okay, back in the present, we're at the hospital where I guess Harvey Bullock is the one that's telling Batman about the injuries to Barbara and how she's been shot through the spine and how she was stripped naked and all this stuff.
Yeah.
And she wakes up and...
He wakes her up and she says to him that there's something different about the Joker this time.
Yeah.
He's going further than he's ever gone
He's
before.
taking it to the limit this time, she says. You didn't see his eyes, and she's taken Dad, and she's like, what's he doing to my father? And at the fun house, these three dwarves, little people with these big buggy eyes.
Where did he find these little people?
Don't know. They're all.
I can imagine thugs wanting to work with the Joker, but this is an entire freak show.
Yeah.
Like a traditional freak
Yeah.
show, like from Freaks.
Yeah.
There's an enormously fat woman.
Yeah.
There's three bug-eyed little people.
Yeah.
People of limited stature.
Yeah.
And
There's a baby with two heads.
yeah, and a strong man.
Yeah.
Like weirdly, like a weird looking, like disheveled ape people. Where did he find these guys?
Don't know. By the way, I just noticed for the first time after reading this 30 times, these little people, two of them are wearing angel wings and high heels. and like fishnet stockings. That's weird. Anyway.
Like a tutu. I thought it was a tutu.
They strip Gordon naked. They put a collar on him. And Joker's like...
He's reclining on a throne.
A throne of dolls. He's got all these dolls and burning doll heads.
Yeah.
It's a bit Apocalypse Now. And
It's great.
he's like...
He tells him he's going mad.
He tells him he's going mad. He's telling him, like, if you can't deal with your memories, because Gordon remembers what happened to him and Barbara in this moment, he's like, Joker's like, just, there's an escape from memories, and that's madness. And then
He sings a little song.
Yep.
Again, it's a really well written song because Alan Moore's writing it.
Yep.
And so he puts him on the haunted house ride, or just one of those fun house rides where it goes through a series of doors. And he's got it all rigged up.
Yep.
There's monitors everywhere.
Yep.
He's ranting and raving at Gordon. Gordon is absolutely cracking under the strain. And then the coup de grace is he puts up the pictures of Barbara.
Yes.
And these are pretty explicit.
Yeah.
We see everything.
Yeah. Well, we see...
quote.
we can
Well,
see her
we
behind
everything-
in some...
Her behind.
Yeah, and we see his behind, by the way.
Commissioner Gordon's.
Yeah. We get another flashback. This time, cops show up at this mafia club, basically, and they pull this Joker out, and they say, look, there was a freak accident at your house, and your wife was killed using a baby bottle heater.
Yep.
Now, he was on this job just to make money for his wife and baby, and now they're dead. And he comes back and he tries to quit the job. He's like, there's no need for me to do this anymore. And they're like, you're in.
Yeah, you'll
That's
get
it.
hurt if you don't go through with it. So the stress, the unbelievable stress is ramping up on this character. He was already half out of his mind with anxiety. Now he has to do this job with these...
He was worried about getting caught doing this crime. He's like, I have to make sure nobody ever finds out
So they give him
this.
the hood. He wears the same red hood from the man in the red hood. It's like a bell jar made of red metal with glass inset so that you could see through it.
Yeah.
And we see it from his perspective when he's wearing it, and it's very kind of claustrophobic.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
by, his vision is bisected. He can see two. It looks very, and he's constantly panicking.
Yeah. Can't hear well. Can't see well.
So now his wife's dead, on top of everything else.
Yeah.
The idea is that we're seeing it. We're seeing the pressure.
Yeah.
Reach an unbearable level.
Yeah.
And there's more to come.
One bad day, he calls
This is the worst day ever.
Yeah.
That anyone's ever had.
Yeah. Batman, the bat signal is put up, and Batman gets a calling card from the Joker with an invitation to the carnival.
There's a pretty cool sequence, if you don't mind me rewinding slightly, where Batman is looking for the Joker.
Yes.
And it's interspersed with Commissioner Gordon going boom through
each door.
Through each of the carnival ride's doors. It'll go ba-dam! And then we'll see the Batman interrogating like some street scum.
Yeah. And the Penguin at one stage.
Yeah, the Penguin.
Yeah.
That's
Who's
right.
in a cell.
He just
He's
waves him
in a
off.
cell, yeah.
It's good.
Yeah.
Good sequence.
Yeah. And then the bat signal goes up, and he goes and gets this invitation. For some reason, he goes to the fun fair himself instead of taking all the cops with him. I don't know.
Well, the invitation was only for him.
Yes, of course.
I think it's implied the cops are coming, but he just gets there first.
Oh, that's right. Yes, okay, got it.
Because that's the first thing he says to the Joker, the cops are coming, like, basically.
Yeah, that's right, you're right. Okay. So, Joker puts Commissioner Gordon into a cell. Then we get the flashback to the actual heist at the factory. It's quite a long, our final flashback. And, you know, the heist goes wrong. The other bad guys are shot. He can't see where he's going in this red hood. He goes up on this gangway. The 1930s looking Batman shows up. And he says, "So, Red Hood, we meet again," which is such a great, like, 1930s line of dialogue.
And he's going, "Excuse me, I'm stuck in here, help!
Yes.
Keep away from me!
Don't come any closer."
He's just watched the guys, like, get shot in front of him.
Yeah.
Then he says, "Get away or I'll jump."
He actually doesn't even know what's happening to the guys because he feels something on him. It's their blood, and he's
he
like,
can't
"What
see
is
it
this
because
stuff
he's looking
on
through
me?"
red glass.
Yeah,
he can't see the color.
He's like, "What is this stuff on me?
Yeah, so
what is
good.
this slimy stuff?" So he jumps into, actually it's like a pond outside the chemical factory, but there's all this runoff, this toxic runoff in there.
They're just dumping it straight into
And he climbs out of there and pulls off the hood, and he sees his reflection in a puddle, and he starts laughing and cackling, and then we get this huge iconic panel of the white-faced, I think mutated-faced, a little bit more mutated because of the confines of this metal hood he was wearing.
Yeah, he was always had a bit of an unusual face.
Yeah.
We get a line.
Lyle Lovett. That was the guy, Lyle Lovett.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Now he looks like he has a impossible face.
Yeah. That's fine. Something's happened.
Yeah. And back to the present, he's like, "Look, Gordon, you're gonna go crazy. Like, all it takes is one bad day."
Yep.
And Gordon's still in his cell. He's not saying anything. Batman shows up in that weird-ass old Bill Finger Batmobile. He rescues Gordon out of the cage. He fights with the Joker a bit, and Joker runs off, and then Gordon comes out of the cage. Gordon comes out of the cage, and he's like,
"I'm fine.
I'm fine. I'm not crazy. He tried to make me crazy. I'm not crazy. I want you to catch him. Do it by the book.
Yes,
don't beat him up.
That's right. By
Absolutely,
the book. You have to show him that our way is the right way.
That's right.
This is what this book's about. This is the central theme. It's a contest between Batman and the Joker.
Yes.
That's why the Batman showed up at the start to talk to the Joker in Arkham, because he wants to show him that his way is the right way. The Joker has already escaped with a plan to show Batman that his way is the right way.
And he's like, "It was just one bad day for me. I bet it was one bad day for you, too.
It sure was.
I bet something really bad happened to you just one day, and now you're crazy. You run around in a bat suit. You are insane, just like me."
He says, but the difference is that Batman hasn't leaned into it.
Yeah.
Joker says he has some lines. Essentially, they're sort of nihilistic. He talks about nothing mattering.
Yeah.
You know, you work hard and it all just vanishes.
And also, he says the whole world is insane.
Yeah.
He says, like, because we're on the brink of nuclear war, based on false radar signals.
Yep. Very topical in the 1980s, I suppose.
Yep, but he also talks about World War II being triggered by these telegraph poles that Germany owed to its war debt creditors, he says. He says the whole world is a joke. I think also this is a point that, this is the same point that the comedian makes in Watchmen. So I can see how Alan Moore would be like,
yes,
I've done this before.
Oh, that's a really good point.
And looking back at this would be like, I'm repeating myself.
You're right, it is very similar. But to different ends.
Yes, of course, to different ends. But Batman beats him up, and finally says, "Look, come in. We can try to rehabilitate you. We can work together."
Yeah. So along with Gordon, who said, "Do it by the book, show him our ways," right? He's trying again. So it's bookends, right? He tried it in the first scene, and now he's trying it again. And the Joker seems to actually consider it.
He considers it. And there's a moment of darkness where the Joker's not talking. Batman says, "It doesn't have to end like that. I don't know what it was that bent your life out of shape, but who knows? Maybe I've been there too. Maybe I can help. We could work together. I could rehabilitate you. You needn't be out there on the edge anymore. You need to be alone. We don't have to kill each other. What do you say?" Then there's a silent panel of Joker not smiling, just very sadly, like... looking at him, he says, "I'm sorry, but it's too late for that."
Yeah.
And then he tells him this joke. He says, "This situation reminds me
It's worth
of a
quoting
joke."
in its entirety, yeah.
Should I read the whole thing?
By all means.
You see, this is the Joker telling this joke. The situation reminds me of a joke. See, there were these two guys in a lunatic asylum. And one night, I wish I could read this like Mark Hamill.
You know, it's funny. This reminds me of a joke. See, there were two guys locked in a lunatic asylum. And one night they decided they didn't like that anymore. They decided to escape. So they made it up to the roof, and there, just across this narrow gap, they see rooftops stretching across town, stretching to freedom. Now, the first guy, he jumps right across, no problem. But his friend, oh, no way. He's afraid of falling. So the first guy, he has an idea. He says, "Hey, I got this flashlight with me. I'll shine it across the gap between the buildings, and you can walk across the beam and join me." But the second guy says, "What do you think I am, crazy? You just turn it off when I'm halfway across."
And then he starts laughing at his own joke. And then Batman starts giggling. And then Batman starts laughing.
Because he gets it.
He gets it. It is very apt to their situation.
Yes, because they're both equally... They can't help one another because they're both equally nuts.
Yes, and I remember hearing some people who don't like the Killing Joke complain very much about the Batman laughing, because at this point Joker has mutilated Barbara, sexually assaulted her, and tried to drive Commissioner Gordon insane, and now he's having a laugh with the Joker. I think he can't not have a laugh. Yeah. There's a very curious panel where he's got his hands on the Joker's shoulders, and we've got the ha 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 sound effects, and we've got the E, which is the police car sirens. But there was speculation for years that this is actually the Batman strangling the Joker.
Yeah,
but I think that's if you look at the script, which is in the omnibus version, that's not the case.
I can go in. I'd like to go into this because I quite like these last three panels, and I spent a bit of time thinking about it. So we see the police car approaching as the Batman. He's either got his arms, they're close to the Joker's neck, or he's leaning on him because he's convulsed with helpless laughter. This isn't fun laughing. Like the Batman's realized. Yeah. This is his sole concession to the Joker's attempt to drive him mad. He's realized the absurdity of his own attempts to persuade Joker that to change. Yeah. The car pulls up, and then we see their feet, and one of the headlights is shining through their feet. We see it for another panel where their feet are gone, and it's just the headlight beam. Then the final panel is just those raindrops that you mentioned. The beam is turned off, which is just the car's turning off its headlight. However, this beam is obviously a reference to the flashlight beam from the joke. Yeah. So there are two interpretations, as you point out. The first is that we take the joke, I suppose, at face value, and that the beam of light represents a trap. And it turning off signifies that the guy holding the flashlight has murdered the other guy by persuading him to walk out on it and killing him. This makes a certain amount of sense because Batman has been talking about killing the Joker throughout the comic. More than once. However, and I think Grant Morrison is fond of this particular interpretation. However, it doesn't really make sense because, for one thing, they're right in front of a police car. Yeah. Yeah, but could the Batman have gone insane and snapped and killed the Joker in front of a police car? That would, perhaps. The other reading would be that if we take it back a step, that the beam of light is not a trap, it's just what it was intended to be, a bridge. It represents the attempt by Batman and the Joker to bridge their respective understandings of the world. With the light being turned off, it means the bridge is withdrawn. That's right. And we return to the status quo. Yes, that's right. It's a clever way of saying the end For now.
Yes. Yes.
Yes, I quite like him.
Yeah. Okay, and that's the end of the Killing Joke. Do we want to say anything? I do think the idea of the Joker having been a stand-up comic in the past, as far as I know, this is the first
Yes, it is.
introduction
I'm sure.
of this concept.
100%.
And I think it's really, this movie version of the Joker is the only one that picked up on that. I don't think any of the others...
No.
No. Not...
No.
No.
No. No. No. He's always... He doesn't have a past in The Dark Knight, right?
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
And so it's kind of the multiple choice past. And of course, he's a gangster and murderer of Bruce Wayne's parents in Batman '89.
Yeah.
But in this one, yeah, he's a stand-up comic.
Yeah.
I'll just say, rather than mention this at the end, I'll mention it now. The idea that Batman and the Joker are equally damaged, I don't think is particularly important, except as a way to set up the contest of worldviews.
Yeah.
I don't think it's the central theme of the book. Maybe people have misconstrued it as being so.
Right.
Because this is one, I guess this, along with The Dark Knight Rises and Watchmen, this is what kicks off the misunderstandings of the 1990s about what constitutes mature storytelling. So maybe people did think that they all had to have psychologically traumatic origins and the heroes had to be anti-heroes.
Yeah.
But this is an idea that's echoed down the years. Just when we were talking about Batman Returns, we mentioned that the original screenplay, the writer wanted to deliberately show Batman as being crazy, as a psychopath, as he put it, and the Joker being a psychopath. And they were just different kinds of psychopaths.
Yeah. Interesting that there's no Batman in this movie.
Well, there is, isn't there?
There is sort of, but I think the lack of superheroics... Look, I think 89 is cartoony. I think the Nolan version is mythic. I think this movie thinks it's being realistic, and I think that opens up a whole can of worms, which we'll get to as we go through this very complicated movie. Came out in 2019, directed by Todd Phillips. Todd Phillips had been a comedy director.
Yes.
Had directed Road Trip, Old School, Starsky and Hutch, the Hangover movies. And then, 2018, 2019 had stopped. He claims due to woke culture.
Yeah, I saw
You can't
that.
make jokes anymore due to woke.
This is already... I was going to read that quote later.
Yeah, okay.
This is already... I found in an interview in Vanity Fair in October 2019 where they interviewed both Phillips and Joaquin Phoenix. Here's a quote from it. Phillips, who directed the comedies Old School and the Hangover series, pitched the idea of a Joker movie to Warner Brothers as a kind of anti-superhero film with practically no CGI effects or cartoonish plots, etc., etc. Phillips had found it increasingly difficult, he says, to make comedies in the new woke Hollywood, and his brand of irreverent bro humor had lost favor. Here's what he says. Go try to be funny nowadays with this woke culture, he says. There were articles written about why comedies don't work anymore. I'll tell you why. It's because of all the fucking funny guys are like, fuck this shit. Because I don't want to offend you. It's hard to argue with 30 million people on Twitter. You just can't do it, right? So you go, I'm out. Yeah. With all my comedies, I think that's what comedies in general all have in common is they're irreverent. So I go, how about I do something irreverent, but fuck comedy. Oh, I know, let's take this comic book movie universe and turn it on its head with this. And so that's where this really came from. The pathetic cry of an aging comedian.
Yeah.
This is what they all do as soon as they start aging out of the demographic that found them funny.
Yeah, or when people point out everything that was wrong with their comedy. I mean, only one of those Hangover movies was good.
It always happens.
Yeah.
There's nothing new about complaining about times changing.
Well,
they used to say political
you know what?
correctness.
There's a guy who it didn't happen to, and that's Marc Maron, and he's in this movie.
He is in this movie. Second appearance, actually.
What?
He was in DC League of Super Pets. He was the voice of Lex Luthor.
Oh! Right. Wow.
So, and reading that quote, and we'll talk a bit more about this movie, but reading that quote and about what he thought he was doing makes me think he got incredibly lucky with this movie.
Yeah.
Incredibly lucky, considering he wrote and directed it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how he accidentally made a good movie?
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, I mean,
And I think there are
his actor
aspects that are good, but I think there's real big problems with it.
Yeah, well, I'm inclined to agree, and we'll talk about it. But I mean, he had a great leading man, and he had a great composer for his score.
Yeah.
Those both are doing a lot of legwork.
Yeah. So we start with this character named Arthur Fleck. He's nicknamed Happy by his mom, played by Joaquin Phoenix. He is putting on clown makeup in a mirror. We learn later that he actually works for a clown agency.
Yes.
Who would do shop front advertising for a store, or do kids parties, or go to a hospital or stuff like that.
Yeah, it's like a talent agency that only hires clowns.
Yeah, called Ha-Ha's, I think.
Yes.
By the way, this seems to be set in the 70s, but there are some big pointers that it's actually set in the 80s.
Yeah.
But there are elements of it that seem like they're set in 2018.
Yes. Yeah, well, we'll get... Yes, it's a bit confused about its chronology.
So...
It's officially set in the 80s, but it feels a lot like the 70s because it's directly inspired by two Scorsese films.
Yes. So, Taxi Driver, of course, this is why we're talking about this week. It's the 50th anniversary of Taxi Driver this month, which I rewatched a couple nights ago.
Great.
It's also an homage to King of Comedy, which I think came out in 82.
King of Comedy with Robert De Niro.
Yes, I watched that a couple nights ago, too.
Oh my god, did you?
That,
I've never seen it.
Oh, it's great. Absolutely great.
I hear it's good.
Yeah. So there was as we hear the radio, I think in this scene, there's a garbage strike happening in Gotham City. So there was a garbage strike in New York in 75 and 81. And there's a poster for the movie Wolfen I noticed in one scene, and that was 81. So there's some indicators that this is 81. However, he has a VCR, which seemed a bit early for this guy that's dirt poor to have a VCR. Maybe he acquired it, and he cares about video, so maybe this is, I don't know. But there's a key scene where he's beat up by these guys on the subway, and those guys seemed like American Psycho, like 1999 or later. They seemed like tech bros. They didn't seem like 80s guys. Anyway.
Dun, 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 dun. It's a Futurama reference.
Yeah. Okay, so he goes out on the street to advertise. He's got this sign, which is like...
Everything must go.
Everything must go sale for this music shop. And then some bully kids come along and steal his sign, and he chases them, but they corner him in an alley and beat him up and break the sign.
Yeah.
And then we cut to him with his social worker. Mm-hmm. And he's laughing weirdly. He's got this forced laugh as the scene opens. We don't know what this is about until much later. Mm-hmm. She looks at his diary.
Yeah.
She has to see his journal. Mm-hmm. She asks him to keep a journal, and it's crazy. It's like a serial killer scratchings. He's got cutouts of naked women pasted up on some pages and stuff.
We keep seeing those over and over.
He absolutely looks not okay. He's on 7 different types of medication, we learn on this scene. We also learn that he had previously been institutionalized.
Yep.
And he's out. And he wants to up his medication. She says, you're already on 7. And he says, I just don't want to feel so bad anymore. He takes a bus home. On the bus, he starts this crazy laughter again when he's entertaining this little kid, and he has this card, this laminated business card, which says, I have a condition. Forgive my laughter, I have a condition, a neurological condition.
Yeah. It has a specific name, which I haven't written down. But involuntary laughter.
Yes, it's a medical condition causing sudden, frequent, and uncontrollable laughter that doesn't match how you feel. It can happen in people with a brain injury or certain neurological conditions. That's really key, that doesn't match how you feel, because every time he laughs in the movie, it's because he's unhappy.
Yeah, or uncomfortable or stressed.
And there's even a moment where, jumping way ahead, he records he does a stand-up routine which bombs miserably. But then it gets played on this talk show, and he laughs at his own joke when he sees it on the talk show.
Do you know it doesn't bomb, though? In his memory,
right?
In his memory, he does well,
right? Yes,
we see him.
That's right.
We see him laughing involuntarily, and it's excruciating.
Yeah,
and no one in the audience is laughing.
Yeah.
But then when he eventually starts telling the jokes, there's warm laughter and applause, and he spreads his arms wide, which he's constantly doing. But then when the talk show, when Robert De Niro as Murray, the talk show host, is showing, he says, check out this Joker.
Yeah.
And he puts up the footage of him at the club. We see then.
Yeah.
And Fleck, who's at first happy to see his bit on the TV, he's like thrilled. This is everything he's ever wanted. Because he has a fixation on this talk show host, Murray. Similar to the one that De Niro's character had in King of Comedy.
On Jerry Lewis, yeah. Yeah.
But then he quickly realizes that, oh, this isn't how I remembered it, and everybody's laughing at me for the wrong reasons.
And he laughs, which means he's not happy. In this, according to the code of this movie, when he laughs, he's not happy. By the way, did they show YouTube reels on late night talk shows in 1981? I don't remember it ever happening like that, but anyway.
No, it's a modern touch. It's a bit of an anachronism.
Yes. He goes back to his apartment. He lives with his mother, Penny, played by
Frances Conroy.
Frances Conroy.
Worth mentioning because she's been Martha Kent in a whole bunch of animated Superman movies.
Yeah. She was in I know her from the TV show 6 Feet Under. She's going to be back on the show in Catwoman.
What? I missed that.
So she's in Catwoman, Joker. They got to put her on that Penguin TV show. What are you doing, DC? Bring her back. Now, she keeps expecting a letter from Thomas Wayne.
Bruce Wayne's father.
Bruce Wayne's father, who she worked for 30 years ago.
Yep.
And they're living in poverty. She's like, if he remembers us, he'll help us. So she keeps writing him letters and thinks he'll write back.
She wants Arthur to check the letterbox every day.
That's right. So we immediately learn that she has some mental health issues as well. Like she has these delusions that Thomas Wayne is going to write to her, this famous guy, this famous rich man who probably doesn't remember.
I guess it should be obvious that she's deluded, but at this point, there's no in-universe hint that she's deluded. We, the audience, are told. We're watching this happen, and she's saying, "Look, I worked with Thomas Wayne. He doesn't forget the people who worked for him. You know, he actually really cared for me. I think he says that. I think she even says we had a fling.
Yeah." Later,
and we had to keep it secret. I think and look, if he knew that we were living like this, he would help us. It's within his capability. And later on, we even see Thomas Wayne on the television talking about how his employees, past and present, are important to him. She says, see? Yeah. He will care for us. At this point, she doesn't mention, though, Arthur's suspected parentage.
Right.
She's keeping that secret from him. So we, the audience, I think, should guess that this is delusion. But there's nothing in universe to suggest it yet.
Yes.
In fact, she might not. I think she might not have been deluded. It turns out she was. We're leaping ahead here. Yeah. She was committed to Arkham Asylum.
Yes.
Or they call it something else here.
Arkham State Hospital.
Right.
Is Arkham a state or is it a city?
Well, it's a state hospital, but it's.
So, is there a Melbourne State Hospital, which is a Victoria State Hospital?
There's a National Gallery of Victoria.
That's true.
I just
don't know if they name hospitals that way. Would you name a state hospital based on the city it's in?
Good point.
I don't know.
Why didn't they just keep... Well, they wanted to make it more grounded, didn't they? Which is why...
Yeah, of course.
Because this film's all about being realistic. He eventually goes to... He gets her papers. She was committed.
Yeah.
But it's sort of hinted that maybe Thomas Wayne had her committed.
Okay, right.
Like he used his wealth and his city connections to have her involuntarily committed.
But we have her medical conditions. We hear them later in the movie, what she was institutionalized for, her conditions.
We see them,
it's listed off. Okay, I'm assuming that is the explanation for Arthur's conditions, is that it's inherited, it's genetic.
It's possibly, but also...
If it's just faked because he had her institutionalized to silence her, and those are not real, then where do Arthur's conditions come from?
Well, first of all,
I'm not saying that's the only place it could have come from.
I have two answers. First of all, they don't have to come from anywhere. He can just have them.
Yes.
Second of all, the card mentions brain injury as a cause of his potential...
Yes.
What may be a fact was that he was abused as a child.
He
was chained to a radiator and beaten.
Of course. Why didn't I think of that? Okay, so this is maybe not...
Well, he's got a multiple choice past.
Yes. It's not as clear cut as I thought it was, I guess. Okay, so he watches this Murray Franklin show, which is this... It's basically Johnny Carson, but it's with Robert De Niro playing Jerry Lewis.
In King of Comedy. In this remake of King of Comedy and Taxi Driver.
It's almost like...
Set in the 80s.
It's almost like the Rupert Pupkin character from King of Comedy actually got his talk show, and here he is.
Why didn't they call him that? You know, why not? This film is... I haven't seen King of Comedy, but it's so derivative of Taxi Driver.
Yeah.
And I think it's such a cheat. I mean, let's start complaining. It's such a cheat to set it in the 80s.
Instead of the present?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's their way of having the city look identical to the way it looked in Taxi Driver.
Yeah, why is it set then?
Well, you know, the usual reason for setting shit in the past is because you don't want to deal with social media and telephones and stuff.
I mean, this is not...
mobile phones, I mean.
This is not important at all. But let's say you were building a universe, and 10-year-old Bruce Wayne's parents are killed in 1981, and now it's 45 years later. Okay, so Batman's 55. I guess that's all right. Joker's 95, I guess. I don't. It's not.
I don't think they've thought it through that hard. In fact, I honestly think, since this is a very confused discussion of this film, I honestly think that the connections to the DC universe are mostly cosmetic.
Yes.
I think it's the name Gotham.
Yes.
I think
it's the presence of the Waynes.
It's the name the Waynes and the insistence on having Bruce Wayne in it as a character, as a child, for one thing, and again showing us the goddamn alley death.
Yeah.
For what feels like the 1000th time.
Yeah. Yeah.
This year.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so while he's watching the show, he has a fantasy about being on the show and being invited on stage. This is King of Comedy. There are 5 or 6 sequences, maybe 3 or 4, in King of Comedy where he has these fantasies about being praised by Jerry Lewis.
Right.
Like, you're such a great comic. He invites him to his house. He's
It's the exact same.
It's
Amazing.
exactly the same.
Amazing.
It's such a shocker. I was really surprised how shameless it was. Now, it's been 40 years since King of Comedy, so I guess, it's okay.
It's not really one of his most popular movies either.
No.
I've never seen it.
No, but it's a great picture, and it's
one of his own favorites, I think.
Yeah. But I think they kind of played their hand, which we'll talk about, with having
By showing
this fantasy,
that he has these waking fantasies. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's not a pathological fantasy.
No.
It's a natural one.
Yeah.
So at this point, you can forgive it, I suppose. It doesn't seem like the kind of fantasy a crazy person would have. It seems like fantasy a normal person would have.
So at work the next day, his coworker Randall talks to him about him being attacked by the kids, and he actually gives him a gun.
Yeah.
He's like, "You can pay me later," I think he says.
Yes, he does.
Like that.
He says you can pay me for it later. He goes, you need to look after yourself.
Yeah.
This guy is such a jerk.
Yeah.
He picks on the little person.
Yeah.
Hey, there's little people in both of our media this week.
Yes, that's right.
And he knows he knows there's something up with Arthur. It's almost like poking a bear. You don't give a gun to someone who's mentally ill.
He's called into the boss's office, and the boss says you need to return that sign.
I have a slight digression.
Okay.
The boss is played by Josh Pace.
Okay.
Would you believe he was the man in the Raphael suit in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
What? What are you talking about?
He was Raphael.
Okay, but that means he was also in that movie because there was a scene where everybody was out of suit, had a cameo, right?
Yep.
Okay, so he's in Mutant Turtles as well.
Yep. And he's been on DS9.
Fascinating.
Oh, okay. Right, so basically he calls him in, but he doesn't fire him. Arthur has this weird grin on his face while it's happening. You can tell he's suppressing one of his laughs that means he's unhappy. He goes in the alley, he beats up some garbage.
Yeah.
He goes home and to his apartment, and he meets Zazie Beetz in the elevator. Zazie Beetz is in this movie. I was like, what? Nobody told me. I would have watched this movie 5 years ago if I knew about this. Okay, she's a single mom. She's in there with her daughter, Gigi. She kind of jokes with him a little bit in the elevator.
Yep.
She makes this jokey shoot yourself in the head
Yep.
gesture about how bad the building is.
Yep.
The kid's cute. Always like a cute kid in a movie. He goes home to his mom. She makes some comments about his stand-up. What was the thing she says here? He says,
Don't you have to be funny?
Yes, don't you have to be funny?
So cruel.
Reminded me a bit of Joker's wife in The Killing Joke, a little bit, when she says, oh, when he talks about...
Well, he's giving his mother a bath,
Yeah.
and he's talking... I think maybe she's a bit scatterbrained. She's maybe forgotten that he wants to be a stand-up comedian.
Yeah.
And he goes, "Don't you worry, Mum. They tell me that my material's good. It can play the big clubs or something like that."
Yeah.
And she says, "Don't you have to be funny?"
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh shit, Arthur.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, next day he follows Zazie Beetz to her work.
Yep.
And then he goes to this nightclub, he watches a comic, and he kind of writes down what...
He's doing research.
Type of, yeah,
He's seeing what jokes play well.
What jokes,
I think
like
he writes something like sex jokes
sex
play well.
jokes, your horrible background or whatever. And then she knocks on his door. Zazie knocks on his door and says, "Did you follow me today?" And he was like, "Yep." And he makes some kind of good jokes.
Yes.
And I'm like, something's not right here.
Yeah. Why is Zazie Beetz...
Why is she cool with him? Oh, she followed me. Haha, that's funny. And
Why
I
is
was
she
like,
right with it? This
This is a weird guy in your building.
Why is this hot chick... Why is hot Zazie Beetz interested in...
Oh, yeah.
A extremely creepy looking Joaquin Phoenix. Joaquin Phoenix lost so much weight for this role.
Yeah.
Everyone listening has seen this movie. Everybody knows what he looks like. He looks like a starving wolf.
Yeah, yeah.
He lost something like 23 kilos
Wow, okay.
by eating like one meal a day.
Yeah. Jesus.
He's a vegan, except which he claims made it easier to lose weight. I don't have to struggle with like cheese and shit, he said. On a self-described hardcore diet, a single meal per day of an apple, steamed green beans and lettuce, losing almost 4 stone, 23 kilos for the role. In the film, with his hollow stomach and protruding rib cage, his body looks close to collapse. This was an interview with the Daily Telegraph. Wasn't it hard, they asked him. Not really, he shrugs. You just eat whatever the fuck they say.
Right. By the way, Zazie Beetz was Domino in Deadpool 2.
I was aware of that, yeah.
I don't know if we'll get to those movies, but if we're here in 7 or 8 years, we might.
We may well get to revisit.
Okay, the next day he's doing a hospital gig, and
The gun falls out.
The gun falls out. I laughed. This is maybe the only time I laughed in this movie, called Joker, when the gun falls out, and he kicks it across the floor, and he has to go scramble to get it.
And he plays it off really well. It's a shame because he's actually pretty talented as a clown.
Yes. Yes. But this reminded me a bit of Being John Malkovich, where he's a puppeteer and he's out in the street earning pennies, and he comes home beat up by bullies, or not bullies. It was this kid's dad that beat him up. And Cameron Diaz was like, "Why do you do this to yourself?" He says, "I'm a puppeteer," which is the best line. The best line, and it reminded me a bit of that. Him trying to be this comedian or whatever, and he's just failing. So he calls work or whatever, and he's fired over the phone.
Yeah, because the hospital. I mean, the kids were really having a good time, and they didn't really care. The hospital is called Ha-Ha's.
Yes, that's
and
right.
Raphael the Ninja Turtle fires him.
Yeah. So he's on the subway, and this is when
the American
Psychos are
well, they could be Gordon Geckos, I suppose.
Yes, they're harassing this woman on the train
because they're drunk.
And Arthur laughs because he's uncomfortable, and everybody's like, "Why is this guy laughing?" She get off or move to a different car, but these guys are like, "What's with this guy?" And they start beating him up, but he's got the gun. He pulls the gun. He shoots 2 of the guys dead.
Yeah.
One of them runs. He chases him out of the carriage and shoots him on the stairs as he's trying to run.
In the back.
He's he's hit him on the leg already before he ran off the train.
Yeah, this guy's trying to escape, and Arthur has chased him down and shot him twice in the back.
Yeah.
This is probably inspired by an event that occurred in real life. In New York in the 80s, in 1984, there was a subway shooting by a guy called Bernard Goetz.
Oh, I thought this was John Wayne Gacy, who dressed as a clown and killed people.
No. Okay. I don't think there's John Wayne Gacy connection, but I think this has been mentioned in more than one article. The interesting thing about Goetz was he shot 4 black teenagers on the subway when they approached him.
Okay.
He claims he thought he was going to be robbed.
Okay.
They claim they weren't going to rob him. He was a racist.
Yeah.
And he shot all 3 of them. They all survived, but one of them ended up in a coma. The one that ended up in a coma, he stood over him and shot him again.
Whoa.
After he'd already shot him once.
Okay.
Apparently saying, "You look all right still," and then just shooting him again.
Okay.
The reason this is interesting is 2 things. First of all, he got off. He was charged with murder and assault and possession of an unlicensed firearm.
Okay.
And he was only convicted of possession of an unlicensed firearm.
Okay.
The other thing that's interesting is he became something of a public hero.
Oh boy. Okay. That's going to play out as we go through this movie in a
There
big
was a
way.
crime wave in New York at the time. Disproportionately committed by youths of colour. A lot of people were pretty happy with what Getz did.
What year was this again?
84.
Okay, so this is when Reagan's happening, deregulation's happening. Actually, all the crimes are being done by white dudes in suits. That's who's really doing the damage.
Of course.
The Gordon Geckos are the ones.
Of course, but there was a lot of urban
crime
in New York at the time.
Do I want to jump ahead now, or should we save it?
We'll save it. Everyone's seen this. They know why I brought this up.
Okay.
They know.
Okay. So he does this little dance. He does these little dances sometimes. Maybe that's he's trying to calm himself or something.
I don't know why he does it, but it's very arresting.
It is. And
especially
he does it
with
after
the score.
Yeah.
The score is by, I think, an Icelandic composer called Hilda, Icelandic name.
Okay. Okay.
She won so many awards for this score. She won an Academy Award.
Okay.
She won like a Golden Globe.
Yeah.
She won a BAFTA. The only solo female composer to win all three. It's strings. It's beautiful. It uplifts the film, really.
Yeah.
I honestly think people would take this film less seriously if it didn't have such a moving score. Apparently that scene was an ad-lib. According to the script, he was just supposed to hide his gun, wash his face, and then talk to himself in the mirror.
Okay.
But apparently they were struggling with the scene, and Phillips put on some of the music that Icelandic lady had composed, and Joaquin Phoenix started dancing.
Okay.
This is from the Vanity Fair article. An elegant tango-like movement, and Phillips asked the cameraman to start filming with a handheld camera. Just the three of them in the room, while the crew of 250 waited outside.
You know what I want to add to this, coincidentally? In the script of Taxi Driver, the famous "You Talking to Me" speech, the script says Travis looks in the mirror.
I know. so amazing, isn't it? I can't believe he ad-libbed that. Yeah, wild. And it was just him and Scorsese too. Like, Scorsese apparently was crouched just outside.
But he would have... De Niro liked structure, so he would have ad-libbed it, like, he would have worked it out. He would have gone through it a few times and then figured out how he wanted to do it. But it certainly wasn't in Schrader's script.
No, it wasn't.
Okay, then he knocks on Zazie Beetz' apartment. This is after he's killed the guy in the subway. Goes in, kisses her, and she kisses him back.
It's implied that they then sleep together.
Immediately, spoilers, I was like, he's fantasizing this. Yeah. This didn't really happen. It just was flatly obvious to me.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was because I'd seen A Beautiful Mind, or it was because of the scene that they put in earlier that he has this imagination. But I was like, he's just imagining this. There's no way, unless, we talked about Oldboy a few weeks ago. When that old man is with the young woman, you're like, your brain kind of dismisses it as a movie cliche. It's just a movie cliche. And then actually the movie explains it with all this kind of stuff.
Yes.
Here I was like, are they just want me to buy this movie cliche that this gross dude just made out with Zazie Beetz? Am I supposed to buy this? I didn't buy it for a second. I was like, he's imagining this. It's going to come out in a couple of scenes.
You're more attentive than I am. I just sort of rolled with it.
Right. Which is what they want you to do.
Yeah, that is what they wanted me to do. Silly me.
Yeah. Okay. We see Thomas Wayne on the TV. He's talking about the crime.
Yep. That's where he says that he looks after Wayne family.
That's right. He's thinking about running for mayor. Mm-hmm. Arthur goes to see a social worker again. She's like, they're stopping our program.
Yeah.
So we won't be able to continue your meds.
This is Reagan era austerity.
Yeah.
Also, this is Reagan era austerity, as you mentioned. He's cutting everything, deregulating. These people are being cut loose.
Yes, and his meds are gonna run out.
Yep.
Eventually.
And and he's not going to be able to get therapy anymore.
Yeah.
I think it's implied she's a therapist.
I don't know. So that night he goes to do stand-up, as we said. It seems terrible.
To go... It's awful. Us watching it, it's awful. But after he finally gets his joke out, it's he believes he's going well.
Yes, and in fact, he sees Zazie in the audience because he'd invited her to see stand-up sometime.
Yeah.
That first time,
And she's loving it. She's really enjoying
loving it. The audience is loving it.
Should have been a lot more suspicious.
He goes up, I'm like, no, this isn't going on. Okay, so he goes home to Mom, and then he finds a letter. She's written another letter to send Thomas Wayne. This time he opens it and reads it. And it says, you need to take care of me and your son.
Dun dun dun.
Yeah. So this is a reveal that Thomas Wayne is the father.
Is Arthur's father,
and
yes.
Arthur, the Joker, is Batman's brother.
You don't like this? It's a bit silly, yeah. They're brothers, half brothers.
So when he reads this, he's like, okay, I gotta go check this out. So he goes to Wayne Manor.
Yep.
Talks to the kid. Did you notice the kid slide down the bat pole?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Stupid Easter egg in there. I've got to have a bat pole. It's like
then Alfred shows up.
Yeah, is this SAS Alfred?
No,
Who
this
is this
some
guy?
fat loser Alfred who
He's British, and he's like, get lost. He knows about Martha, or not Martha.
he knows about Penny.
Penny. He's like, that's all nonsense. Like
He's really
he might have helped with the cover-up.
scornful and cruel. Yeah, if there was indeed a cover up. Yeah,
he seems like a fixer. By the way, this version of Thomas Wayne is a bad guy version of Thomas Wayne.
Well,
which is similar to...
He's a surgeon usually in canon, isn't he?
Yes, but the Batman version, the one that's all dark that you can't see, the Twilight version...
The most recent one, yeah.
That one, I think he's a bad guy, as I recall, which I slept through half of it. But he's a bad guy in that version as well.
Okay. Well, we're a bit more... We have a dimmer view of plutocrats, don't we?
Yeah. So he gets home and his mom's being taken away in an ambulance.
Yep.
She's collapsed, and he's approached by these two detectives.
Both of these detectives have been on the podcast before.
Okay.
They're detectives Garrity and Burke.
Yep.
Garrity is played by Bill Camp, and we have to go all the way back to Tamara Drew.
Yes. Yes.
He's the author.
That's right.
The fat author.
That's right.
Yep.
Yep.
Burke, on the other hand, is played by Shea Whigham.
Yeah.
He was the dad in Death Note, in which he was also a detective. The 2017 Death Note, the Netflix one.
Did we mention, Ashton must have mentioned it because he was here, that he's in the Fast and Furious movies? He's in like 1 and 6 or something like that.
I'm sure it came up because you guys never miss an excuse.
Ashton would have noticed that guy for sure and been like, that guy's from Fast and Furious. There's no way he would have missed that. So they're there. They're like, we got some questions about the subway shooting, and we were talking to your mom about it.
Yeah, she collapsed.
And she collapsed. So they caused her stroke, basically.
Yep.
The stress of it. He's waiting in there, looking after his mom. Zazie Beetz is there, even though she's got a kid to look after. She's hanging out in this hospital.
Whoa, alarm bells should be ringing.
And this is when he catches the Murray show. And Murray plays this YouTube clip of this crazy comic that bombed.
Yep.
Well, look at this Joker, as you said. And also we get this news report about protesters dressed as clowns.
Yes.
Now, what has happened is this subway shooting has started this movement against tech bros and billionaires. This seems very 2018 to me, not 1981.
It's like Wall Street protests.
Yeah. Or like
Occupy Wall Street.
Occupy Wall Street.
Yeah,
that these guys are they were protesting against rich people, and we're glad that these rich people got killed in the subway, and now they're all wearing clown makeup and masks.
Yeah. Yes. So first, The Dark Knight Rises. Something like this happens in that, right? Except it's Batman that inspires the.
Yes.
And they don't loot. Instead, they're the good kind of vigilantes, the kind that Frank Miller likes.
Yeah.
Then, of course, there's this guy, Bernie Getz.
Yeah.
As I said, he became something of a figure of public heroism, and even the. Are you familiar with the group, the Guardian Angels?
Yes.
The Guardian Angels fundraised for him.
Okay.
So they're like a non-violent vigilante group, predominantly people of color.
Right.
They were fundraising for Getz.
Right. And they had a GoFundMe going for him. Okay.
Well, they walk around trying to stop crime by observing it, and they were collecting for Getz as legal defense.
Yeah. Thomas Wayne is like... Oh, by the way, Thomas Wayne is in Dark Knight Rises.
He is. He is. He's also in Ghost Rider.
Right. He's a very arrogant about these protests.
Calls them clowns.
He calls them clowns.
I don't think they've started dressing in clown makeup yet. It's when he calls them clowns that they start.
No, they are. Yeah, I'm looking at the scene.
Are they? Okay,
They are
right.
already.
Okay, all right. So
Yeah.
he's riffing off that then. Okay.
Yes. But that night there is a screening of Charlie Chaplin's Modern Times, which is full of billionaires.
And they're all laughing, and this is how I knew this was a dream sequence, because no one laughs when they watch Modern Times.
We've had this argument many times. That is a great movie,
Of course it's great.
and it is a
But it's
laugh
not-
out loud. Not as
You're not
laugh out loud
laughing every
as
30 seconds the way they are.
it's not as good as City Lights in my book, but it is an all-time classic. I think this is a fundraiser of some
These are,
sort. Why are
it's-
so many people here? There are
It's for
hundreds
Thomas.
of people.
It's Thomas Wayne's. I think it's launching his mayoral bid or something.
Okay,
like that.
got it.
And that's why they're protesting there, because he's part of the problem. He's one of the 1%.
Right.
Yeah, these aren't people of culture. These are scumbag billionaires, and they're all laughing hilariously at Modern Times.
Yeah.
Dream sequence. Then he encounters Thomas Wayne in the urinal.
Yeah, he confronts him in the bathroom, and then he says, "You're my father."
Yeah.
And he's like, "No, your mom.
Your mom's
You're
crazy."
adopted.
Yeah.
She's not your mother."
Yeah. This is a shock. You're adopted.
Wait a second. So if he was adopted, then it's definitely not genetically inherited. Why did I say that?
Well, if it's yeah.
She didn't pass on her.
Right. So if she's really mentally ill, then he really is adopted. But there are,
either way, he
the
didn't get it
genetic
from her.
link is only one link. I mean, people with mental illnesses often are inclined to, if they're raising a child, that child has a higher percentage of experience.
And he's like, she had all these. She was institutionalized. I think he's the one that gives Joker this information about her being institutionalized.
That's right, at Arkham State, and then he goes and steals the file,
Yeah.
and it's full of all these. An orgy of evidence, to quote Minority Report. Like newspaper clippings. What are they doing in there? Why would a hospital, file on a patient have newspaper clippings in it? It's newspaper clippings of him as a kid, or like with bruises all over his face, and it's like horror house sort of abusive. And we also see
it makes about as much sense as Commissioner Gordon keeping scrapbooks of all Batman's adventures.
Yeah, surely he would have a secretary for that. Isn't that Oracle's job? Oracle doesn't exist yet. But she will soon.
I just want to mention that the clerk working at the hospital is Brian Tyree Henry, who was not in any comic book movies. He's in Godzilla vs. Kong.
Okay.
But he was in Atlanta with Zazie Beetz. So you've got two of the four main actors from Atlanta in this movie. That was weird.
Okay. Good. Good.
He is distressed to learn about all his mother's mental illnesses and stuff. We get a bit of a flashback to her. He walks into
He's very
Zazie's...
aggrieved. He's always complaining.
Yeah.
Always. He's complaining to Thomas Wayne. He's complaining to this poor clerk that fetches him the files.
Yeah.
He's complaining to his therapist. He's very aggrieved. Why doesn't society pay attention to me?
Yeah. So then he goes over to Zazie's apartment and he sits himself down, and she's in Gigi's bedroom. She comes out. She's like, "Who are you? What are you doing in here?"
Yeah.
And this is the big dun-dun-dun reveal.
This is the Sixth Sense.
And now we get the Memento reveal,
Yeah.
where you get the flashback to what actually happened.
Yeah.
In
Well, the
all
Sixth
those
Sense, it made me think of Sixth Sense, where we see...
Oh, yeah, that's right, Sixth Sense too. Yes, we get the flashbacks to all those scenes.
to all the scenes where she was alone.
She was alone, or Memento.
Well, here he was alone.
Yeah.
Yeah, he like when he was in the hospital or at his stand-up gig.
Yeah.
It was an empty seat.
Yeah.
Oh, he hallucinated the whole thing.
Yes.
So he's got schizophrenia or something.
Yeah.
It's not specified aside from his laughing disorder, we never hear what precisely his condition is. Which I think is probably a good idea, but obviously it's causing him to have delusions.
Look, after I watched it, I emailed my older brother. He's a psychiatrist.
Right.
He usually doesn't watch any movies that are mental health related.
I understand.
He's like, he picks them apart. He just can't get pleasure out of them.
That's funny because that's all we get pleasure out of.
I emailed him. I said, "Have you seen this Joker movie?" He's like, "No, I haven't seen it." I said, do you think it's feasible for this guy with all these mental health conditions to be doing all this stuff, have a job, all this kind of stuff? He said, well, superhero movies are not realistic in any sense. And I was like, this goes right back to what we were talking about.
Yeah.
I said, this isn't a superhero movie. There are no superheroes in it. It's trying to be realistic. And he said, it is very unlikely for a psychotic individual to be functional enough to maintain unsheltered employment. And then I said, that's what I thought. Also, how likely are they to turn into murderers? Is this a thing that mostly happens in movies? He said, correct. There's a higher incidence of violence, but typically in conjunction with substance use. Also acute psychosis off meds.
Oh, he does stop taking his meds.
Yes, but the idea of him holding a job, because I remember I had this conversation with my brother when A Beautiful Mind came out.
Yeah.
And that turned out later, we learned there's all sorts of false stuff in that movie. Like, it's a very fictionalized version of events. I remember him saying, usually these people don't win Nobel Prizes. So I was like, what did you think about this? And he's like, it didn't, Tim, it just seems a bit weird that he'd be working even at Ha-Ha's.
That's a fair point.
Based on all the stuff he's got going on.
Straight from Kumar's brother. There you go. There you have it.
Anyway. Yeah, so he gets a call actually from the Murray Show. They want him on because he's become a influencer. Effectively.
Yes, he got a lot of likes.
He's getting his 15 minutes. Yeah, he got a lot
of likes.
Yeah.
You can hear him there. He's gone viral.
That's right.
You hear him trying to awkwardly shoehorn this into the 1980s. Yeah. They've got lots of calls about him.
Yes.
What were these calls saying? That they want to see more of him?
That guy.
He's generating interest.
Yeah.
You're right. It's a bit of an anachronism.
He starts putting on his makeup, and Randall and the little person, I'm sorry, I can't remember his name, show up. And he reveals...
Andre, the little person?
Oh, maybe.
I think he might be Andre.
Right. He's also British for some...
Yeah. I think the actor's British.
Right.
And he's not trying to do a US accent. Yeah. Fine. Respect.
Fine. But Randall is like, hey, man, the cops have been asking about you. Well, his mom has passed away, by the way, at this point.
Yeah.
And he's like, I don't care.
Well, he says his mom's passed away. He murdered his mom.
That's right. Yeah.
After he found out about the admission, he feels betrayed and he's furious at her because she calls him happy and he's not happy.
Yeah.
So he once one flew over the cuckoo's nest to her.
Yeah. Yeah.
Incidentally, that was another one of the cited influences on this film by Todd Phillips.
Huh. Okay. Okay, so Randall comes over, he's like, sorry about your mom. Actually, we heard that the cops are looking for you.
And Andre says, they didn't talk to me. I think this is meant to imply that Randall, or is it Randall? Randall grassed him up. I think that's
yes. Actually, the first time the cops come, at some point it comes out that Randall's
worried about being linked to the gun.
The gun, that's right.
And it sounds like with Andre saying that they didn't talk to him, Andre, he then abuses him by saying they're not looking for a midget murderer or something like that.
Right.
And I think it's meant to imply that Randall has dobbed him into the cops.
Right.
Hence spurring Arthur's next action, which is to brutally murder him with scissors.
Yes. By the way, he does say in this scene, I stopped taking my meds.
Yes.
My question is, did he stop or did he run out? He says at one point it's been a few weeks. He's had a terrible few weeks, and we know his meds are running out.
Because we saw all of his empty pill bottles, and he only had 2 left in one scene.
Okay.
Yeah, he's definitely run out.
Okay.
It's implied that with the cut funding, he will not be able to get his meds anymore. So I think it's ambiguous if it's voluntary or involuntary, but it's the end result is the same.
Right. And he explodes in this very violent murder. By the way, so I guess everybody whose meds have run out in New York is going to snap like this. At this stage, is that...
It's not going to be good for them, but they're not...
No.
Your brother's right, of course. But I also think that if we take the Killing Joke...
Yeah.
Fleck is some kind of exceptional individual.
Yes.
He's undergoing a transformation into a supervillain.
Yes. Well, in The Killing Joke, yes. In Batman 89, yes. In The Dark Knight, yes. In this...
Maybe. Maybe not. It's not clear what's happening, actually. Another thing that kind of bugs me a little bit about this film is what's happening. He's very lucky, I suppose. Or rather, he doesn't have he gets on the show and creates a mass movement, but it's all luck.
Yeah.
It's all accidental. He just stumbles into situations where he explodes into violence.
Yeah.
There's no planning. He doesn't have a twisted genius that warps the world around him.
No, that's right.
He So what's Phillips trying to say here? What kind of a villain is he?
It's a good question, especially if this is it's not the Joker, but imagine it's the Joker of Batman fame.
Yeah.
How does this guy become this mastermind
Yeah.
in and out of Arkham all the time, has all these henchmen, all that kind of stuff? Doesn't seem like that's possible.
I agree. We're not getting that kind of... That's it. We're not getting that kind of
He's just going to
origin.
continue to be unhealthy.
Yes.
Until
Yes.
he dies.
Yes. I found that a little frustrating.
Yeah.
This isn't the origin story of a supervillain. It's the origin story of, like, Travis Bickle.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So he gets dressed up for the Murray show. He does this little dance on the stairs.
Yes. They're now called the Joker Stairs.
Okay.
And are a tourist attraction
Right.
now in New York, much to the ire of the residents that live around it.
Got it. The cops are chasing him. They're trying to talk to him. He runs off. There's a big subway chase. Now, there's a whole bunch of masked...
There's a rally going on that night, the same night that he's
a little
appearing
bit
on.
V for Vendetta vibes here, where all these guys... in
Everyone's,
these masks
instead of
are-
wearing Guy Fawkes masks, they're wearing these creepy clown masks.
And he loses himself in the crowd, but in the kerfuffle, one of the cops, the Fast and Furious cop, shoots one of the protesters.
Yeah.
And kills him, and then the protesters turn on the cops. He manages to get to the Murray show. This is where we meet the producer, Marc Maron, of the show. And he's like, I'm going to go out in this crazy makeup. They're like, it'll be fine. He goes out on the show, does this pretty incredible interview. By the way, in The Dark Knight Returns, doesn't the Joker go onto a talk show and gas the whole audience?
Yes, he does.
It's like not only does he bleeding heart talk show.
Not only does he gas the audience, but he kisses the sex doctor to death.
Oh my God!
And he does
There's
the
a
same.
Dr. Ruth here.
Yes. Yes, he doesn't kill her, but he does kiss her.
Oh,
a clear reference to the
yeah.
Dark Knight Returns, yeah.
Yeah.
Which I
wow.
always call the Dark Knight Rises. Sorry, correct me when I do
Yeah.
that.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, it's funny to see that. I thought,
Right. So he does a little dance before he comes out on stage as well.
Yep, he's always
This is his
dancing.
thing. It looks a little bit like the dance that the dwarf does in Twin Peaks. You ever seen that?
Yes.
Where he's moving around back.
Apparently
and
inspired, he watched partly Charlie Chaplin,
forth. Okay.
but more specifically, the guy that plays the Scarecrow in The Wizard of Oz,
Oh.
Ray Bolger.
Okay.
This kind of the
Yeah.
twisty tango-like dance,
Yeah.
apparently inspired by the Scarecrow.
Huh. Interesting. So the interview turns ugly. It's hard to
quick.
describe it without just going through all the kind of dialogue.
It's
of
pretty intense scene.
It is intense, yeah.
I think the film's running a bit long at this point, but this scene is pretty good. My heart was in my mouth.
Well, we're an
for
hour
a
and
lot of it.
38 into it. It's not.
It's not too bad, I suppose. Yeah.
Actually, despite my issues with this movie are actually coming up in the last 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And Joaquin Phoenix is incredible in this.
Yeah, he's so good.
He's magnetic,
absolutely deserves it.
mesmerizing. You can't take your eyes off his performances.
It's incredible.
So I didn't really feel like it was running too long, even though he had no agency. I mean, the movie is about him lacking agency because of his mental health issues.
Yes.
And the lack of support that he has, even from his own mother.
Yes. Yes, that's fair. And this scene is worth the price of entry. It's so difficult to watch. It's great.
Yes.
He tells these awful jokes.
Yeah.
Then he reveals that
Very,
he's-
very much like King of Comedy, by the way, in that
Yeah?
respect. The terrible jokes at the end.
And then he just he
That's a spoiler for King of Comedy, by the way. Okay. That his jokes
I'm
are really
familiar with the
bad.
plot of King of Comedy, but I've not seen it. He admits to shooting the three men.
Yeah.
And Murray he keeps him on the air, but he absolutely does not know how to deal with this. He's trying to talk to you about it. Why'd you do it? And Phoenix is playing this so despicably. He's just smarmy and smirking and cruel.
Yeah.
And this is his, like apotheosis?
Yeah. His transformation into the Joker.
Yep. This is when and the Joker here is a really ugly kind of J'accuse figure, pointing out all the problems with modern life. Ignored people, a system. He's a system that doesn't care about people, that judges what's good and bad, that judges what's funny and unfunny. The system has screwed him and promoted the evil.
Yeah.
He shoots Murray in the head.
Yep. I don't remember what the trigger was, but
Murray's trying to get him off the air now.
Yeah.
And then he has this screaming rant, which was apparently the first take.
Okay.
Where he screams at him, "What do you get when you take a socially maladjusted or loser or a mentally ill person and cross him with a society that doesn't care about him? You get what you fucking deserve." He shoots Murray in the face. Yeah. Screams, fleeing. Apparently that line was the first take because he flubs the line. He was supposed to say system that doesn't care about them, but he said society by accident. But it was so riveting, they left it that way.
Yeah, right.
So if you were curious why he never mentioned system after that first mention, it's because there was supposed to be a callback to it in that final rant.
Okay. Goes off the air. He's being taken away by the cops.
Yes.
And
I think the film
the
should have ended here, actually. What do you reckon? Is him being driven away watching the riot. I think that would have been a good place to end it.
Okay. Taxi driver. Travis Bickle tries to rescue this 12-year-old prostitute played by Jodie Foster. He goes berserk. He's off the rails. He's very socially maladjusted. Doesn't know how to talk to women. Obsesses over this one woman in particular. Takes her to a porno.
Yeah.
Doesn't understand what he's doing. Just a crazy guy. Then he starts losing it and feels like the problem is society. Gets these guns. Arms himself up. Shaves his head. Goes, I'm going to rescue this girl. I'm going to fix the world by rescuing this girl.
Yep.
Crazy. But then the newspapers the next day are like, hero saves girl.
Yes.
Girl's parents are like, saves him. But we as the audience know this guy's not
You're right.
okay.
You're right.
King of comedy.
Yep.
This guy, I'm a great comedian. I got to be on this Jerry show. Kidnaps the guy. A plastic gun. It's a toy gun. It's not a real gun. But this guy can turn. He's not okay. The girl he works with is played by Sandra Bernhardt. Masha is also not okay. They kidnap this guy. He goes on the air. He becomes a viral sensation. He's on the cover of all the magazines. This crazy guy. And then the final shot is a dream sequence of him with his own talk show.
Yes.
And we as the audience are like, those people who are following him are fools. And Travis Bickle, the people who are worshiping Travis Bickle are fools.
Yeah.
In this movie, it is the opposite.
Yes. Yeah.
This movie is the opposite. It didn't understand the two movies it's ripping off completely.
Yeah.
In this movie, we're saying the clowns are the good guys because they're killing these billionaires. The Waynes come out of a movie and they have to run into an alley because of the riots on the streets in this version, and then they're confronted by a clown who shoots them, not because they want to steal the pearls, but because the guy's rich.
The most charitable thing you could say is that the people following Arthur Fleck are neither good nor bad, I suppose. They're writing because of social conditions, and the Joker's just inspired them. You're right that it's not like the Scorsese films, where our privileged access to what they're really like allows us to see that their fame is nothing to do with their behaviour.
Yeah.
Right, with the people who they really are.
Yeah.
On the other hand, you're quite right. In this, it's even like Fleck does despicable things. He murders his own mother.
Yeah.
A matricide.
Yeah.
He shot a guy in the back who was running away. This is before he goes off the deep end.
Yeah.
You know, he brags about murdering 3 people, and then he's inspired. And then they celebrate him, as you say, he's celebrated as a hero. He's up on they lift him out.
Yeah.
Of a taxi that he's crashed in.
Yeah.
Place him on the hood of it like a beer. He gets up and basks in the adulation from the crowd.
Yeah. They're his goons, his Joker goons.
He's now become the Joker.
Yeah.
The villain that inspires. Here, I guess the Joker is a figure that inspires riots.
Yeah. Against billionaires, so he's the good guy in this. Unlike Travis Bickle and Rupert Pupkin.
Yes. So you're right. So your 2018 comparison is good, okay? With the Occupy Wall Street crowd.
Yeah.
Some people think the Occupy Wall Street people were criminals. Frank Miller, for example. We call them pond scum.
Yeah.
Some people think that they're heroes.
Yeah.
And this is an important cause to protest about, and some people just don't really care.
Yeah.
No one... You know... Here, the these masked clown figures, I don't think are heroes. I'm pretty sure they're villains.
I agree, but does the movie think they're villains? The movie thinks they're heroes.
Yeah.
I want to point out two things. I'm going to quote two things. One is a cartoonist named Lily O'Farrell, who goes by @Volga online. She did this 14-screen comic about this movie. But she pointed out that she watched this final sequence, the riot scene, frame by frame, and every single protester was a white male. Every single one of them.
Okay.
I just want to add that onto the pile of things that this movie is about.
Yep.
Now, I want to also quote an article on Vox by Alyssa Wilkinson, and she says what I just said. I should have quoted her first. The people who elevate Travis Bickle or Rupert Pupkin to the status of hero are fools.
Yeah.
Which is to say, if we idolize them, we're the fools. Sadly for Fleck and his eventual Joker evolution, the resulting character is just a pathetic victim. And we know what we're supposed to feel for him, pity. That's signaled throughout the movie loud and clear. He is beaten up, abandoned, mocked, and mistaken. Unlike Bickle and Pupkin, when Fleck finally finds himself through violence, it reads unequivocally as a moment of self-actualization. He did it, guys. He finally overcame his oppressors and came into his own.
Yeah.
Sure, you can condemn his actions, but then aren't you the bad guy?
Yeah. That's it.
So I think it's not just a ending with him in the taxi. It's got to end with... We can't have the elevation of him to hero level, even earlier in the movie, can't be there. Otherwise, I'm on board.
I think it's fairly ambiguous until they're literally paying homage to him on the hood of the taxi.
Yeah.
You can sort of see what's going on with the riots and things is almost peripheral to his own struggle, I suppose.
Yeah.
We just know that this is a city in strife, and they're under pressure the same way he's under pressure, and he's just cracked further because he has he's under more pressure.
Yeah.
I think one of the other things I don't really like about this movie is that it's not sufficiently well written for there to be a clear cause for Arthur's conditions.
Yeah.
By which I mean, people watch this film and tend to see what they want to see if they're aggrieved. Is it because of his mental illness and lack of support for it?
By the way, Fight Club is very similar in terms of the way it's been read by bros.
Right.
And also has a guy at the end that realizes he was hallucinating everything, and then we get flashbacks to all the scenes where the other person wasn't there, and he was punching himself in the face.
Yeah. I guess it is a little bit like Fight Club. Fight Club's way better, though.
Yes.
Yeah, this Todd Phillips is no Chuck. What's his name? Who's the author?
That was David Finch. Well, David Fincher, the movie was.
Yeah, well, fucking know that.
We don't talk about David Fincher on this show.
Maybe on the other show. Alright, but what I mean is, I think it's muddied about who the bad guys are, and I don't think that's a strength of the film.
Yeah.
People talk about this, this being the incel film, because Arthur Fleck is constantly complaining about being invisible.
Yeah.
Invisible especially to women.
Yeah.
People don't pay attention to him. I've been forgotten. I'm looked over. No one really sees me. It's very whiny.
Doesn't the misreading of the hero also remind you a little bit of V for Vendetta, where all those people in the real world and in the movie are wearing V masks?
Yeah.
But V is very gray.
Oh, yeah.
In the comic.
Yes.
I think we've got a kind of similar situation here. We have a very gray person who our Travis Bickle, our Rupert Pupkin, who we should not, or our Tyler Durden, who we should not be worshipping.
Yeah.
Then the movie is like, everybody put on your clown masks, or everybody put on your Guy Fawkes
Imagine
masks.
identifying with Tyler Durden. I mean, that film and book is such a critique of fragile masculinity.
Yes.
Imagine saying, yeah, it is hard to be a man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Imagine watching this and thinking, yeah, my garbage man didn't pick up my rubbish this week. I should go and shoot Bert Newton.
Yeah.
No, he's already dead.
Yeah.
So people tend to... I think that people tend to see... you can pick a cause.
Yeah.
Almost watching this movie.
Well, it does end with him laughing again, that awkward laugh in an institution, a white wall institution, and then it's implied strongly that he kills his psychiatrist.
How did he do that? He's handcuffed.
Don't know. Also, isn't he back on meds now that he's in hospital?
Well, he's become the Joker now. He's an
right.
unstoppable force of nature.
Okay. And then we get credits. And by the way, I want to read the special thanks, which are to Brian Bolland, J.M. DeMatteis, and Keith Giffen, who we talked about when we did Justice League. I don't know what Joker thing they did that they were like, we need to credit them. Frank Miller and Irv Novick. Those are the thanks.
Uh-huh.
Oh, and also Bob Kane. Oh, no, sorry. The credits are based on characters from DC. Then halfway through the credits, we get another credit which says based on characters created by Bob Kane, Bill Finger, and Jerry Robinson.
Yeah, Bill Finger's been added to this one. I think
Yes.
it was just Kane and Robinson and
Yes, right.
some of the other ones.
Yeah. Can't remember which now or when they changed the rules about crediting. But anyway, there you go. Okay. We must have some trivia about this movie.
Not as much as you'd think. I've covered quite a bit of it already.
Okay.
Essentially, we've got the story of Phillips kind of stumbling on this idea because of woke culture.
Yeah. Yeah.
He'd made a film called War Dogs in between Hangover Part 3 and this one.
Okay.
Which,
And what about A Star Is Born? When is that? That's like the one before this one?
oh.
In 2018?
Did he maybe... I don't think he directed that though, right? Did he direct it?
All right.
I think he might have been a producer or a writer on it. He'd made War Dogs and he sort of knew... I think that film did fine, but for him, like, he just sort of knew, this isn't what the people want. I need to hit on the neck. What should I do? What should be the thing? So you read his puerile justification for it. Or you heard it. Meanwhile, and interestingly, Joaquin Phoenix also wants to do a comic book movie.
Okay.
Now, he'd been approached to play Doctor Strange.
Huh, okay.
Apparently, after Cumberbatch was confirmed, but then looked like Cumberbatch was going to maybe drop out.
Oh, interesting.
He was approached and said no.
Okay.
Ironically, because he didn't want to be tied to multiple films.
Right.
I think he'd also been asked to maybe play the Ruffalo Hulk.
Oh!
But Cumberbatch, definitely. No citation for the Ruffalo one.
Yeah.
Yeah, but at some point in the interim, he'd sort of been kicking around the idea.
So Tyler Durden was going to drop out of playing Hulk, and then it was going to be the Joker taking his place. Got it. It all
made sense. Yeah, it's all coming together.
Yeah.
Then it seems after he's turned down Marvel, he's sort of come back to the idea of being in a comic book movie, but he called his agent and said, why don't I take one of these characters, comic book characters, and just make a lower budget film about it? Mm-hmm. A movie, but a character study, and why not take one of the villains? I thought, you can't do the Joker, though, because, you just can't do that character. It's just been done. So I was trying to think of other characters, and his agent said, I'll set up a general meeting with Warner Brothers. I said, I'm not going to go. I can't go to a general meeting. So he completely forgot about it until, independently, I suppose, Phillips came up with the same idea.
Okay.
According to Phillips, he wrote it with Phoenix in mind.
Okay.
Like, he never... apparently had a picture of Joaquin Phoenix up in the writing room where he was working on it with his writing partner. And he never had anybody else in mind for the film.
Why didn't he go with that... who's that handsome guy from The Hangover? And
Bradley Cooper.
Yeah. You'd think
Bradley
that would be his go-to.
I don't think Bradley Cooper could do it.
No.
Oh, he's a producer on this. Bradley Cooper.
Yes.
We're crazy. Do you know who else is a producer on it? Emma Tillinger-Koskoff, who is a co-producer with Scorsese.
Scorsese, yeah. Scorsese was linked to this movie.
He was a producer on it for a while before he was replaced with Koskoff.
And he was almost going to
Not substantiated.
Okay.
But why was he a producer? It's a bit mysterious, actually. He doesn't. Often he usually ends up directing films he signs on as a producer for. So was he interested in producing this Taxi Driver ripoff? I can't imagine.
Don't know. Weird.
I don't know what his involvement was. There's some scuttlebutt that they might have had him brought him on to trying to track Leonardo DiCaprio, but I don't know if I believe that, especially since they wanted Joaquin Phoenix from the start.
Right.
Strange. Jared Leto.
Okay.
Angry this film was getting made, apparently.
Okay, what year was Suicide Squad?
Before this, I'm not
Okay.
sure. Yeah, definitely before this.
Okay.
Apparently, Leto had been promised his own standalone Joker film.
Wow.
And, of course, he'd already had his role in Suicide Squad cut down to fewer than 10 minutes.
Yeah,
because of his crazy portrayal and of his, I suppose, weird behaviour. And you hear he did weird, like, cringe method stuff, like sending condoms and dead rats and things to his co-stars, trying to get into character as the Joker by doing that. Anyway, the Hollywood Reporter in 2019 reported that he was unhappy about the film and that he pressured his agent and his manager to contact higher-ups at Warner's with an eye to getting the film cancelled.
Wow.
Obviously not successful. Shortly after this, he fired his agents and his management. I can't help but think it's probably related.
Yeah. Yeah.
The remainder of this article is worth reading. At this point, sources say Leto's days as the Joker likely are over. He will not reprise the role for Warner's upcoming DC movies Birds of Prey or James Gunn's Suicide Squad. According to one person involved in the situation, how do you play the Joker you established following Phoenix? It kind of ends his Joker run. And it certainly has. Alright, let's talk about how much this movie made. Its box office was 55 million.
Okay. Do we know the budget?
Sorry, the budget was 55 million.
Okay.
The budget was 55 million. Possibly as high as 70 million with marketing.
Okay.
The box office was more than $1 billion.
Whoa!
This is the most profitable comic book movie of all time.
Whoa. Okay.
By which I mean it as the amount it made as opposed to the amount it cost.
Okay.
Other comic book movies have made more money.
Is it the comic book movie with the most Oscar nominations?
I think it is.
Okay.
I think it surpassed the Oscar nominations for Black Panther.
Okay.
Yeah, so Black Panther previously held it. Now I think it's Joker.
Okay.
Before this, the most profitable comic book movie of all time was The Mask.
Okay.
From 1994. This is the film that finally knocked it off its pedestal.
You're in the same zone if you think about The Mask and the Joker.
It was also the highest grossing R-rated movie of all time.
Whoa, okay.
It has since been surpassed by Deadpool and Wolverine.
Okay.
However, that cost $500 million to make.
Whoa, did it?
Yeah.
How could it cost that much?
I don't know. Coke for Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, where's that money going?
Effects. That's a pretty effects-heavy movie.
Yeah, but even
Marketing,
effects cost $1
effects.
million per minute. It's yeah, okay.
Stars, there's quite a few.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
It has a lot of cameos.
Yeah, okay. All right.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's just movies. These movies all just cost a $1 dollars, all these superhero movies, which is why it's so extraordinary that this film cost so little.
Yeah.
Like, $55 million before marketing is nothing. It's astonishing how well it did. The Arkham State Hospital is the annex of a building called the Brooklyn Army Terminal in New York. This film was shot in New York, also in Newark and Jersey City.
Okay.
From September to December. Interestingly, this building that was the Arkham State Hospital, in real life is signposted as the Bat Annex, B-A-T, Brooklyn Army Terminal. The house that's Wayne Manor is the same one from Gotham, the TV series.
Oh, interesting.
And also Batman Forever.
Wow, isn't that interesting?
Yeah. The set designer or the set supervisor or what have you made efforts to, I don't know, try and link it to the joke to like Batman. So things like bus routes and streets and buildings will have names from.
Oh,
but you don't. I don't spot
like
any of
Finger
them.
Street.
Yeah, things
that
like
kind of thing.
Yes,
they do it in lots of movies.
Yeah, exactly. It's hardly special. Honestly, this is just New York.
Yeah.
I know they say Gotham all the time,
Yeah,
but the cops have New York badges.
In fact, I forgot it was Gotham. When they were talking about the garbage strike, I was like, okay, it's New York. I didn't even process that it would have to be set in Gotham.
Incidentally, the production designer, a guy called Mark Freeberg, he said, it's obviously inspired by Taxi Driver. Taxi Driver was inspired by the diary of Arthur Bremer. Our character is named Arthur. It may stop short of being an homage, but it's definitely inspired by Taxi Driver and by the version of New York City that Taxi Driver
Bickle also kept that diary. As soon as he opened his diary in this movie, I was like, oh, it's Travis Bickle's diary.
Yeah.
His journal. Yeah.
this film was nominated for a lot of awards. It won quite a few, but it was nominated. It has an entire Wikipedia page just devoted to the awards it was nominated for.
Right.
As I mentioned, it won best. It was nominated. I've written down 11 Oscar nominations. Citation needed, and it won 2, of course, for Joaquin Phoenix's mesmerizing performance and for the amazing score by the Icelandic composer, who plays cello and presumably is playing on the soundtrack. And that's just about it for trivia.
Okay, let's rate these. This is a tricky one this week.
It really is. Although, okay, for the comic, it's not tricky. This is a great comic.
I'm going to give it a yay.
Oh yeah.
I disagree with Alan Moore.
I do
on
too.
this one, I don't usually.
I
do think the problems with it are problems. I think the sexual assault is a problem.
Sure.
I think the placing too much importance on it is a problem. Like the weight it's given.
I think it's.
But I think he's actually put silliness in there, like the Golden Age, Silver Age stuff. So
It's got his touches.
Yeah.
Playing with origins.
Also,
clever rhyming.
Given
quips.
40 years. I mean, we don't place it as close to Watchmen in memory. At the time, if you'd read this right after Watchmen, you'd be like, well, he's repeating himself.
Right.
Now it's like there's a bit of separation, and I think it works better. So, it is a yay for me, but there are some caveats.
I do like the theme. I like the idea of the contest of worldviews.
Yeah.
I like that the Joker, it's implied the Joker has independently come to the same realization that Batman has.
Yeah.
That they're in a death spiral, and they have to break out of it.
Yeah.
Batman doesn't really get a chance to try, but Joker sure does.
Yeah.
By trying to break Commissioner... He can't break Batman, because you can't catch Batman and break him. He's already crazy.
Yeah.
Or he's just too formidable.
Yeah.
So we'll take Commissioner Gordon and show Batman that this actually is the version of reality you should believe in. And join me in my crazy nihilist capers.
You can't blame me for what I am, because it can happen to anybody. In fact, the whole world is already like me, he says.
That's it. This is the only sensible option.
Yeah.
Go mad.
Yeah.
But you can't... Yep, obviously that doesn't work. And you can't rehabilitate the Joker, hence our ending.
Yeah.
I like it. I think it's really good. It's probably my favourite Batman story.
Yes, I agree. It is the best Batman story. It's the least Alan Moore comic and the best Batman story, as I said at the beginning.
Very good.
How do you feel about Joker 2019?
This is a tricky one.
Look, I think it's a good movie, but I think the messaging is bad.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say yay with caveats, much like the comic, which I had reservations about. I have reservations extremely about the conclusion of this movie. I also think it's trying to be, as I said at the beginning, 89 Batman is cartoonish, so that Joker makes sense. Dark Knight is mythic, and that Joker makes sense. You're trying to tell me this is a real guy with real mental illnesses in the world. It doesn't work. According to my brother, this guy would not really be functioning as well as he is, and I find it hard to believe. And I don't like the fact that this guy turns violent at the end, if we're saying this is a realistic depiction of mental illness.
Yeah.
I think it's...
Or even if it's not, I mean, the Joker... What is the Joker? The Joker is supposed to be a kind of diabolical mastermind.
Yeah.
Right? Locked in...
Unpredictable due to his madness.
Yeah. But brilliant and doing things with toxins and traps and wickedness.
Yeah.
Arthur Fleck does not have the wherewithal to make traps and wickedness, and all of his violence he blunders into.
Yeah.
Now, I don't think any of it's premeditated.
Yeah.
Not even his murder of...
Randall. Or his mother?
Certainly not Randall.
Yeah.
I don't think his mother either. I think he snaps when she calls him happy.
Yeah.
Even Murray, where he goes onto the show armed with a gun. And that's assuming, of course, that he ever went on the show.
Yeah.
Because, of course, we've established he's an unreliable narrator.
Yeah.
I don't know what's happening in that ending sequence, but if that's Arkham State Hospital, the walls of Arkham State Hospital were yellow, and this place's walls are white.
Right.
So, everything's... I think it has too many holes. There's so much I like about it.
Yeah. I agree.
I'm
in the same boat.
Phoenix's performance is unbelievable.
Yes.
I love the music, even though it's just... The set, I mean, it feels lived in, the kind of environment, but I feel like I don't mesh with the lack of a message, and I don't mesh with what kind of villain Arthur Fleck is supposed to be.
Yes.
Is he supposed to be an inspiration to violence, like a dark prophet? How does that track? He's just accidentally done that. The people barely... They shouldn't even really know who he is.
Yeah.
These people on the street haven't watched the broadcast of Murray's.
That's right.
They've been out riding all night.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Oh God.
Look,
I think I'll split the vote. I'm gonna
say nay for the movie, but I'm gonna say you should watch it for Joaquin Phoenix's performance. I'm gonna recommend it, but I'm gonna say it's not a good movie. So my vote is nay on the movie.
All right. Okay. I gotta have some conviction like you. I will also go nay. Yeah.
Okay. How are we going to vote on adaptation? You've already voted because you've talked about how he's not a mastermind.
Yeah, I've
And what did I say the credit was based on the DC comics, based on characters from DC?
This is a clear nay for me, as I've made plain already. I can unpack it a little. I'm fond of my dichotomy.
Yeah.
The transformation and reproduction in any adaptation. This one, I normally am in favour of transformation. This one's gone too hard. Too much transformation. Not enough reproduction. It's not enough of the comics in it. This isn't a story about the Joker, I think, really.
I think they think they're being realistic. This goes back to that for me.
But comics aren't realistic, are they?
Exactly. Right. They think they're doing a realistic version of the Joker, but it's not. They've fallen down. I don't think it's a real depiction of mental illness. I think it
what film is,
I think it depicts some of the struggles they have to go through, like with his social worker and trying to get meds and all these kinds of trying to get care. I think that stuff is all very real, but I don't like that he snaps at the end and starts murdering people and becomes a cartoon villain at the end, effectively, on the Murray Show at least.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel they've really just put bits of Batman in it.
Yeah. Yes.
They've just sort of
yes.
tacked him in.
Yeah.
Like Thomas Wayne. Yeah. Bruce Wayne doesn't belong. It's so weird that he's in it, and we see the alley scene. Mm-hmm. Why is this in this movie? It has nothing to do with...
Yeah.
Except for the fact that I guess the Joker caused it by causing the riot. Yes. It seems like there was probably going to be a riot anyway.
Yeah.
Since he wasn't out in the streets whipping them up.
Yes.
There was probably going to be one regardless. The just calling it Gotham even though it's plainly New York.
Yeah.
However, would anyone have gone to watch this movie if it was called Arthur and set in New York?
Arthur 2 on the rocks.
I've written down, people were tricked into seeing a good movie that they wouldn't normally have seen, or a good performance that they wouldn't normally have seen because they thought it was going to be a comic book movie. I don't even think it's particularly good adaptation of Taxi Driver.
No, as I said, I think the message at the end
message is all wrong, and I think I think it's cheating to have your adaptation or your remake or your homage to Taxi Driver set in the exact same setting, which is 70s/80s New York.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, it's identical.
Yeah.
How are you coming down as far as...
Oh, yeah, it's an A for me, because they've tried to be real. I mean, it's...
I think you could do it, but
Is there anybody in the real world like this? Let's look at it that way. Is there anybody going around in clown makeup? Is there anybody going around in Guy Fawkes masks that were like, we worship this guy and there's a revolution happening because of that figurehead? No. I don't see it. And I
think you need a better... I don't think it's impossible, but I think it would take a defter touch.
I think you're right that they've just touched these. They've put the name of the city and the Waynes in there, and they've called this guy the Joker. They've tried to force this thing onto the structure, which I don't think can bear the weight, to borrow.
It's almost like he was ripping bongs one night and said, "What if Travis Bickle was the Joker?"
Yeah.
And then he made $1 billion.
Yeah, amazing. Yeah. Okay, please like, rate, review, subscribe, and share. And you can contact us through the email address in the show notes, or you can send us a DM or leave a comment on our Facebook, Instagram, Blue Sky, Threads, YouTube, or Reddit. All of those links are in the show notes. You can also please join our Patreon at patreon.com/comicbookmovieoblivion. All one word. That link is also in the show notes. It helps us to pay fees. And also we have a side podcast on there once a month, which is Comic Movie Apocalypse, where we talk about comics-adjacent adaptations or comics adaptations of movies.
Tune in, we might even discuss the director who shall not be named.
Yes. Yes. Oh, we're going to in our next episode.
Oh my god, okay, yeah.
Our next episode of Apocalypse, the director shall not be named.
Fantastic.
Okay, next week we're going to be doing
Dennis the Menace
from the 90s with
Walter Matthau.
Walter Matthau. Is that... Yes, it is Walter Matthau, isn't it?
I think so.
As
I haven't seen it since the 90s.
I haven't seen it.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Well then, tune in.
It's the 75th anniversary of Dennis the Menace.
Brilliant.
Both of them. We'll mention the two Dennises briefly next week.
Okay.
You don't need to know much about it. You can find Dennis probably in any newspaper still. Are there
Is it
still
being
newspapers?
Oh god.
Or you go into Go Comics or something, and you know what Dennis the Menace is anyway. That's it for next week.
Isn't it rich? Are we